Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the M99 GRAFX ARCA Backmarkers Racing League race here. It is the Throwback 133, presented by Homesmart Evergreen Realty. Are you in California or looking to move there? The current home buying market can be difficult to navigate, but it doesn't have to be with Homesmart Evergreen Realty. Agent Sean Deveritch, Deveritch, that's it, will help you find a home to fit any and all of your needs in beautiful Southern California. Want to schedule an appointment? Reach out at the information listed in the description below, or you can visit www.homesmart.com. That is, once again, www.homesmart.com. I'm joined today, as always, by my broadcast colleague, Tyler Barnett, and of course, I am Rain Braun here. I'm a little tongue-tied this evening. My braces are giving me a little bit of trouble this evening, so it's not a good combo we're having with Tyler's throat problems, but we're going to try to make the best of it. How's it going, Tyler?
Not too bad, man. And I guess two half of people make one full person, so I think we'll be all right. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm excited for 147 laps around this treacherous track, nonetheless. But how are you?
I'm feeling fantastic, really. I'm just really excited for this race. You know, it's been a long time coming. This has been being prepared for probably somewhere around, what, 4 or 5 weeks at least, pretty much since the season started. Once the 90s theme was revealed for the throwbacks, everybody's been hard at work. I've been hard at work making schemes. Logan Monteith with M99 GRAFX has been really hard at work making schemes. I know Steve Loving, and the 27 car driver here, he's been making schemes. And of course, a lot of drivers made their own. And it was all in part to have a fun opportunity for an internal competition for everybody to vote on within the league their favorite throwback scheme that people put together. I mean, throwbacks are always one of the most fun things for me. I love to really see that that nostalgia from cars that you used to love, and get to see them back on a track again. A lot of the time with updated, brand new sponsors that look like the old sponsors. Those are always really cool. But I mean, for you, Tyler, what have you seen leading up to this race?
Well, turn 2 is probably the most difficult exit that you are going to race on. Turn 2 is treacherous because there's a bump right before the exit, and it gets so narrow, and that bump will send you straight to the wall. And I've seen a lot of spins. I've seen a lot of contacts. It's going to be treacherous for all the drivers, but I think our boys can make it through.
Absolutely. And I mean, out of everything you've seen so far with all of these cars, have you yourself found a favorite amongst the field?
I mean, you have to go with Jacob Bradley. I was
Jacob
running some
Bradley.
practice laps, and him and I basically matched laps. So,
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
this is he's fast, man. He's fast. I know he runs with a bunch of pro drivers, and this is going to be a very finesse-based track. And him and Jacob or Jonathan Cofield, one of our other new guys, those two are going to have a battle for the lead. But otherwise, those two are my favorites by far.
Absolutely. And there's a big thing to note here. Jacob Bradley is sitting at a 29.87 here in practice session, the fastest time. And the only other person to break that 30-second barrier, get a sub 30, brand new rookie season for our series. First start driver, Jonathan Cofield, who joined this past week in between Watkins Glen and now. And he is running a 29.91. So, I mean, the crazy thing is, it's not that far off after that point. A familiar name up in the top, Dustin Bally at a 30.03, tied with Blake Hoppy at a 30.03. And Sean Johnson, Mr. Moonpie, with a surprising 30.06. I know he's been working like crazy to really show what he's got in this race here. So, I mean, maybe it's paid off. Maybe we'll see our 5th winner this evening. I know I'm definitely counting on seeing the 5th brand new winner to the ARCA series.
I am too, definitely. Jonathan Cofield, though, like you said, his first race, first start here, and he's almost at the top of the board in second, not far off, too. So, Cofield, I've raced with him. Steve Loving has raced with him. Logan and I, and Ryan Huff as well. We've all raced with him, and he is solid. He is a very, very good truck racer, and I knew from other leagues that he was a beast in ARCA cars, so he's going to be fun to watch this season and see where he can end up, even though he joined later in the season.
All right, and just like that, as always, we want to give a big shout out to our broadcast partner, Extreme Sim TV, who you are currently watching the stream on. And if you're not, how are you hearing what I'm saying? As always, if you're here and you're watching our stream, you're going to want to see the rest of these races. We are only on race 5 of 12 for this season. It is still anybody's ball game, any team's ball games in this points battle. So, I mean, we're looking at a huge season still ahead of us. It doesn't end until March. You don't want to miss a single race. You don't want to miss a single minute of the action. Oh, big ol' wreck. Jacob Bradley getting to the back of Nick Seraph as I'm talking there. But if you don't want to miss a single moment of the action, you know what you got to do. You're on YouTube. Head down below, click that subscribe button, and click that bell. You can also go to every one of our upcoming races. You will be able to be notified as we do set up a pre-live stream premiere so that you know when they're going to go live. That is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can find us here on Extreme Sim TV. Big thank you to Matthew with Extreme Sim TV for giving us this broadcast platform.
So let's make some early predictions, though. Who do you have going into this race?
I made a way too early prediction really early this morning in our league chat, and I'm sticking with it. I think it's going to be a Mach 1 racer. I wasn't sure who was running the best laps just yet, so I didn't want to commit between Jacob Bradley or Brady Powers because they're quite evenly matched. They're both very impressive, very amazing drivers. Jacob Bradley, of course, almost won last week at Watkins Glen, save for the incident between him and Dustin Bally coming out of the final turn. But the, I think the chances of Mach 1 were incredibly high. But if you had to, this was all before major breaking news happened, midway through the day when Mach 1 Racing signed probably their biggest competition as we're seeing right now, Jonathan Cofield, filling their third driver spot on their team. So now I'm not really sure anymore. I definitely think it's going to be a Mach 1 racer, and just because I wanna commit to something, I'm gonna give it to Jacob Bradley. I think Jacob Bradley's going to take this one home tonight.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there, but since you picked him, I'm gonna have to go with the other man, Cofield. I think that he is gonna give them all a run for their money, and I'm super excited to see it.
Yes, indeed. Well, I believe we're about looking at time here before everything gets started. We need to go ahead. There was a contest that took place, as I mentioned, inside of the league itself. And the basic premise of the race, the contest rather, is you had to design your own racing scheme for the throwback. You couldn't just pull something from Trading Paints and use it. And everybody committed in and everybody submitted by the deadline, and then everybody within the server voted on which ones they liked best, and they chose their top 5. Votes were compiled, and I believe we're ready to announce a winner here. To do that, we have Jackson Samsel up here in the broadcast booth. Jackson,
hello.
How's it going, man?
I'm good. It's nice hearing the intro. I've never really been sitting in the back seat hearing the intro before, so it was nice to hear that.
Yes, and
You still got me?
You're cutting in and out a little bit, it seems.
I hear you. Okay, I think you're gonna be all right.
Okay, well, I've got 7 guys here, so I'm gonna begin talking in the race chat, and we're gonna give away, I don't know how much the prize pot is, but we're gonna give away some money here, so that might be some fun.
That's always exciting. A little money on the line.
A little money.
All right, and so how exactly are you going to announce this? What is the layout for how we're revealing?
Well, I've got 7 guys here, basically the top 5 in voting, but we've got a few ties here, so we're just gonna work our way. We're just gonna work our way up from. We've got a 3-way tie for, I guess it would be 5th, and then 2-way tie for 3rd and 2nd and 1st.
Sounds good, but I mean, hey, we need to get a little more pumped out of you. Come on, Jackson, feel pumped. This is a big deal. Let's do it. Let's read those things off.
I'm waiting for Tyler to finish up. He's got a big discussion going on, but
is a driver's meeting taking place?
drivers meeting is going on right now. I couldn't beat the deadline.
Well, that's a little bit of our fault. We had a lot we really wanted to say about everybody and the prospects heading into this race, trying to cover some of the backstory. Jackson, how do you feel about your chances out there? You're in this field.
I am in this field. I'm not very confident about myself.
Well, that's very disappointing to hear.
I just heard Tyler talking, so I heard my name. But I'm currently sitting 24th out of 29 in practice, which isn't really where I want to be. But this is going to be an endurance race.
Absolutely. I mean, it should go without saying,
yeah.
the worst race you had was North Wilkesboro, and that was just, you know, having some incidents. A lot of people got caught up in incidents. It was a caution fest. But other than that, you've had top 10s outside of those races. So you've been one of the most consistent drivers this entire season already. So, I mean, there's really no reason to be down on yourself at all. I think your chances are a lot higher than you're probably giving yourself credit for.
Yeah, I think I can make my way up there by the end of this. But I just have to avoid the wrecks that are going to happen. I know they will. So, we'll just have to dodge. And yeah.
All right, absolutely. So are we going to try to do this after qualifying? Do we have time before the session would advance to be able to read it off?
Well, we've already got our prayer in, I think. Tyler can confirm or deny that. I'm going to run my qualifying lap, so I'll mute up. You guys can talk about whatever you want. As soon as I come back, I think we can get rolling.
Sure thing. Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, as we're going into qualifying, obviously we saw Jacob Bradley put down a 8:37. Sorry. So that's a very, very fast lap. He had a little bit of draft, it looked like, when I was watching his lap, but either way, still a banger lap.
Absolutely. As we watch Jackson Samsel take off right now in that Jimmy Spencer 57 Heinz car. We're going to try to go through a lot of people's paints here before everything starts up to really give us a chance to showcase everything. Also, take a look over here. We got Logan Monteith in what appears to be just Dale Earnhardt's Wrangler car. I could be wrong on that, though. Forgot to ask him. I'm terrible at this. Michael Gudger running probably one of the best references. Our resident Brian Vickers running the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Brian Vickers 1999 car. Very deep cut there. As we also take a look, Jonathan Cofield. And he is out here running the Mark Martin Winn-Dixie car, but of course refitted with his current sponsor. Carter Dyson with the DW scheme. Samuel Stoner out here with the Cartoon Network scheme as well here. Oh, it's a bad time to go to Peter Stewart as he just clips the inside wall and kills his tire, but he's running the Spam car. Sean Johnson with that beautiful, beautiful Ricky Craven Busch Series DuPont car, but of course he's Mr. Moon Pie. As we head in, Charles Broderick as well. He is driving a Larry Pearson throwback to the Chattanooga Chew car, but with his current sponsor. And as we try to take a look here, Steve Loving with Rusty Wallace in the Miller Genuine Draft car. Robert Brobst in that I believe that's the Aquafresh car. Tyler DeTalent in one of the prettiest cars we're going to have on track all night tonight. The Mac Tonight car, created by Logan Monteith here. Jay Bast running a Golf McLaren scheme from 1997 Le Mans. Take a look here at Clifton Simmons running the Skoal Bandit car, a classic, of course. Adam Boyles with a wonderful throwback and tribute scheme to Adam Petty with that Spree car. Brian Brobst with a late edition, didn't tell me about it, but I think we all recognize this car, the STP 43, Richard Petty. Brady Powers driving a car, the Nissan. This is, what was really cool was it could be any racing discipline as long as it took place in the 90s. So Brady is running the Nissan GTP ZX Turbo car, which is really incredible. Blake Hoppy out here running the Ray Bestis car. And there were a couple people that didn't quite get the chance to be shown here, but let's go ahead and show off times. And it looks like with that, Jacob Bradley retains being the only sub-30 car up there, and Dustin Bally, I'm not seeing Dustin Bally's name in here.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
He might
to him.
not
We're
have
gonna
run
have to
his...
go back and look at it.
He's not running. He's sitting in pit lane.
Weird. I wonder if he's trying to get those engines, that engine heated up a little bit.
Perhaps. Logan Monteith taking third. Really no surprise to me there. Sam Stoner, a brand new addition as well. First start with us. He's got fourth and provisional fifth. Adam Boyles. Oh, Blake Hoppy coming in with provisional fourth just like that with a 30.11. Very, very impressive run from him. All right, and so I believe Jackson should be in a position where he wants to go ahead and reveal. I don't think we have to advance the session just yet. So are we green to reveal the contest winner?
Yeah, I am if you are. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
So I'll talk in race control here, so both everyone in the game and in here can hear me. I apologize. Oh, never mind. We're gonna switch to the race control chat so I don't get interrupted. I apologize if you're taking your lap, but we are going to reveal the paint scheme winner. We got 7 names here, all in the top 5. We've got a few ties, so a tie for 5th, Charles, Sean, and Logan. Rain's going to go through those on the broadcast, I believe, but all 3 good paint schemes. Then we had 3rd place between Steve and Blake, which is really good from those 2. But when we were doing the voting, we saw 2 guys that really ran away with this competition. It was back and forth the whole time between Tyler to Talent and Dade. So it came down to the wire. There were 29 voting entries. 14 of those went to Tyler, 15 of those to Dade. So congrats, Dade, on winning the paint scheme competition and the prize pot that goes with it.
Wow, really awesome
Congrats
to hear.
to Dade.
Yes, indeed. It was very close, 15 to 14. I mean, they really ran away with it. That third place tie is nowhere near those 2 cars. You can see they were absolute favorites amongst the entire group.
Yeah, and Blake and Steve had both 9 votes apiece. That was the 3rd place tie. Tyler had 14, like I said. Dade with 15. So it was just really fun going over the past, I guess it was the 9th, so the past 3 or 4 days. We were a few more days maybe, but we were just watching the battle just pick up between all these guys, and it was a good ending. Tyler pulled away by about 3 votes at one point. Dade came back by 2, and then we had a late vote this morning that gave Tyler 1 more, but wasn't enough to catch Dade. So Dade's going to win the prize pot that goes with it. So really fun.
Excellent stuff. And I want to throw a big mention out to everybody here. It looks like Dustin Bally just completed his qualifying lap. It looks like a 30 flat for him coming in 3rd, and Blake Hoppy breaking with a 29.99. Very impressive. But I want to give a clarification to everybody in the race and everybody on broadcast. I wasn't able to show the cars just because they weren't on track, but I will go through at the end of the race after we've interviewed everybody. We'll go back through it and try to show off all of these cars so that you can see the spectacular amount of work that went into them. You're going to see a lot of it on broadcast. We're really going to try to make sure everybody gets to show off the hard work that was put into these cars tonight.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for letting me in here. I'm going to head back to my team. Thank you for letting me show off everyone's great work over the past few weeks.
Absolutely, Jackson. Thank you so much for reading off the competition. Hopefully we don't see you back in the booth unless it's for good reasons.
Yeah. Have a good one, boys.
All right.
Thank you. You too. Hopefully you can put on a good show out there, man.
Hope so. See you.
All right. So about how long do we have until Grid Up starts?
It is looking like a little less than 2 minutes.
Well, less than 2 minutes. In that case, we'll leave you sitting here for just a minute here while we wait for everybody to get ready to grid up and take a break. Just kind of looking around at this beautiful Darlington track while we get ready to go racing. All right, and we're back here. And of course, this is the Throwback 133 here at Darlington, presented by Homesmart Evergreen Realty. Are you in California or looking to move there? The current home buying market can be difficult to navigate. It doesn't have to be. With Homesmart Evergreen Realty, agent Sean Deveritch, I cannot talk this evening, Veritch, will help you find a home to fit any and all of your needs in beautiful Southern California. You want to schedule an appointment? Reach out at the information linked in the description below or visit www.homesmart.com. Type in your location there and look for his name. Once again, that is www.homesmart.com. As the grid begins to take off the line here, let's take a look at our starting grid. First up, we got an Alvin Kawicki car here. It is Jacob Bradley, followed by Blake Hoppy and the Ray Bestis car. Jonathan Cofield, who was actually in fourth, but in the Mark Martin Winn-Dixie scheme. Dustin Bawley in that Hardee's scheme. We have Logan Monteith in the Wrangler throwback. Samuel Stoner in the Cartoon Network throwback car. Steve Loving in the Rusty Wallace Miller Genuine Draft throwback. Adam Boyles in the Adam Petty Spree throwback car. Sean Johnson in the Ricky Craven Bush Series DuPont throwback car, and Carter Dyson in that DW throwback. As we get ready to go here at the green flag, and everything is taken off, ready to go right off the bat here, and it looks like we're going to be looking at a pretty tight fight. What do you think so far, Tyler? I mean, this lineup for the top 10, it's a bunch of different names already, few of the same. I mean, how do you feel about the current prospects of how this race is going to go?
I think it's going to go trying to settle in, making sure they can at least complete the first lap. It looks pretty clean from here on out. Jacob Bradley already out to a huge lead, though.
Absolutely. I apologize to broadcast listeners. Discord decided it was going to fart a little bit while you were talking, but yeah, he is definitely out to a huge lead. And Blake Hoppy got a little bit of a lead himself there on Dustin Bawley as we kind of tread back here. Dustin Bawley and Jonathan Cofield, I apologize, are pretty close in time as well. Let's take a look back through this field, see where everybody's coming. I mean, it's pretty tight, but there's also a decent amount of distance between everybody here.
Yeah, everyone's all spread out already. Connor looking like he's trying to make a move by the 9 car already, given a lot of space there. He knows where he stands, like we said. He's on the verge of possibly a suspension. He's on probation after a couple of bad runs here and there, but let's hope that he can keep his nose clean and live to fight another day, right?
Yes, indeed. He got real close on Tanner Prater there in the back, but it looked like he managed to get out of it just in time. It was giving me a little bit of a heart attack as you're talking about probation stuff. Oh, he's getting real tight in that quarter panel. It looks like he's going to back off. Very smart move. And as we look just behind him, Dave Grajewski, that is the scheme that won, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Mark Martin Sin Power scheme. That is the winner of our throwback contest. And our second place, very close second place, it's hard to even call it that, is, of course, Tyler DeTalent's car. He is running tonight. That Bill Elliott Mac Tonight car, one of the most beautiful cars for sure out there this evening. As we look, this tight race we have up here is pretty impressive as well. The 5 car, the 64 car, of course, they're teammates. 5 is the team owner for the 64, and Tyler DeTalent, Evil Empire Motorsports, just behind. It looks like it's really a bunch of groupings of 2 right now, kind of making their way through.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now. I think a lot of people are kind of getting that bunny rabbit in front of them to chase and save their tires with, and maybe even allow them, the cars in front of them, to burn their tires off more than they are behind them, and then later on take them before the first pit cycle.
Well, that would definitely be a good call. Oh, I just saw somebody went off track a little bit there. I couldn't see who it quite was.
I'm trying to go back and look for it, but my graphics card is not allowing it. It looks like it is Charles at the bottom of 1 and 2 right now, letting all the leaders by. Good job on him.
Yes, indeed.
But
he's been having open problems. Everybody's been having open problems with this track. Just really trying to keep it, out of the way. And he's been talking, he's very serious about not wanting to ruin other people's races. And he was talking about strategy, and everybody was kind of giving him the same kind of thing. He committed that you know, this race, it might not be something he's going to be competitive in, but he definitely wants to run it. So he's, you know, he's going to try to stay out of the way, and he's just going to try to do his best and gain the positions he can by not having his car get killed by the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing a great job, and obviously this is a very, very difficult track for all the drivers, even those that are very, very experienced. So props to Charles. I know he's trying to learn and get better, and he's been doing that this season, so good on him.
And look at this field. It is a line here. It's interesting because we see a bunch of cars looking like they're coming bouncing off of walls. It is quite concerning as we look at all of these corners as the cars come by. I mean, it's really hard to say what kind of battles we're even facing here. Let's jump towards the back here, about a little more of the bottom split, see if we have any kind of battles going on down here. I mean, it definitely appears as though we have, you know, gaps that are a lot smaller than it seems like. Currently looking here at Clifton Simmons, who's trying to make a run up on Nick Seraph here, and he's only gaining time, it looks like, at this current point. You know, what is the strategy on this track? It is unrelenting. It is hard to drive. What is that strategy at this point? Is it tire saving?
100%. It looks like we're already going to have a 10 lap green flag run, so these tires are already wearing down. The pace is already slowing down to 30.5 was Cofield's last lap. So that's about half a second off the pace within 10 laps, and they're going to start falling off and dropping off even more. So this track, you are definitely racing yourself more than you are the other car.
Absolutely. Sorry to interrupt you, but it was important to mention Dustin Bally made a pass, or rather, Jonathan Cofield was getting close to making a pass here on Dustin Bally as he's running out to the outside. He does. He clears him. He's gone.
What a move.
And
good job by Cofield.
Watching that time tick down, I could see he was getting up on his bumper, ran up there to take a look and see what's going on, and he makes a pass. Dustin, very wisely, as you were talking that tire strategy, let him take it, let him burn up his tires. It'll come back to me in the end, right?
Exactly, and that is exactly what Dustin's doing. He is a very, very smart racer, and he's going to... And then just reel him in before that pit cycle starts, and from there start running again.
Lost you a little bit there for a second, Tyler, but it sounds like you're back in.
Sounds good. I know my Wi-Fi has been a little bit bad today, especially because of the clouds in SoCal. I have satellite.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, you guys are dealing with those storms out there, so, I mean, we're all thinking about you, hoping that everything stays all right and you don't run into any issues. It looks like there was a bit more of a battle between Cofield and Bally. Oh, like Hoppy coming up on Dustin Bally as well. It just seems
Logan
like,
in the fence.
Logan in the wall. Not anything too
Logan
bad. I wonder what happened there. That is not something
just
you
got
see
in there a little
often.
too hot. Yeah, definitely not. He just got in there a little bit too hot and dragged that right side along the wall, but he should be okay. Just a typical Darlington stripe. Everyone else is going to get him.
And it looks like Damian Marquez also holding himself down, trying to stay down on the apron as well, running a very similar race to Charles Broderick. It's all about points. Show up, play. It's all important, and it's oh so important to be able to graduate up to that next class that we're working on putting together with those super license points in order to qualify. So show up every time, give it your best, don't ruin a race. Hey, no one's going to sit here and talk about you, you know, doing anything bad if you just kept to yourself, right?
That is very, very true. So it looks like Cofield was a 10th faster that last lap, but a little just under. It was like 9/100ths faster. So he's getting there, it looks like. That gap went down to 2.3. It was at 2.7 before Dustin got passed by him. And there's a wreck.
Tyler to Talent spinning out. I was just going to see. I saw some change-ups in position happening, and that Mac Tonight car takes a big old dump. It doesn't look like he has any crazy damage. He might be okay to continue. We definitely need to go back and take a look and see what happened here. As we head back towards this replay, let's take a look. Change up our camera angle. Looks like he comes up underneath Michael Gudger.
And caution's out.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, caution is out. That's a very, very late
iRacing
caution.
automatic caution as well.
Yeah.
That's a very late caution.
Happened.
And here it comes. Oh, he just gets way too tight and he hits Gudger. Michael Gudger on the way in, and it sends him down track. Michael Gudger ends up holding his own. He ends up Oh yeah, he chunks that wall quite a bit. I wonder how much damage it's actually done to his car. As we take a look back here at how Michael Gudger fared in this affair. Yeah.
So now with that, what do you think the strategy is? Do you get tires this early?
Well, you know, that's a fantastic question. As Tyler DeTalent's obviously going in, probably going to go get his fast repair. Go ahead and, I mean, if I was Tyler DeTalent, at least, I'd go ahead and take what I could. You know, there's no sense in, you know, you have to go to pits. There's no sense in worrying about the strategy if you have to go there already. Get what you can and get out there. As for everybody else, I'm really unsure. I mean, we have so many more laps to go. I feel like if everybody feels like they can hold on to it and they don't have to go anywhere, there is no reason to, it looks like as Anthony Cangelosi there in the Rainbow Warriors Ghost car is getting a wave around. Um, or maybe perhaps not a wave around, he was just stuck in a bad spot. But yeah, to say again, we're so early in this race, and we had a very long green flag stretch there. It should have stayed green for all intents and purposes. I mean, I'm glad it ended up going. Oh, well, hang on. Let me take a look here. I'm seeing something else here in my report board of another accident involving Steve Loving. Oh, it did, and that's why the caution came out. I see. Steve Loving got mega chunked up there by Michael Gudger. It was not pretty. Were you able to take a look at this?
Let me go back and look at it. I know my graphics card has been goofing a little bit with how many cars are in here, and it's been kind of lagging out, but let me go take a look.
Yes, indeed. It looks like they're running side by side. They're teammates as well. And Steve appears to have a good position here, as we're going to go to blimp view. Oh, he comes up, and he really pinches Michael up into that wall, and it turns him right into the corner. Not sure what happened there. It might have just been hot tires. It definitely looked a lot like a situation. I'm not sure exactly where fault's going to end up lying in that, but wow, what an unfortunate situation for Steve Loving, as he is just catching terrible ends of sticks here repeatedly. He's easily one of the best drivers in this field, and he just can't quite make up the difference to get to that win. I'm telling you, though, I mean, if anything, it's only going to make the win later this season really special for him.
100%. Yeah, that's just unfortunate events. But, yeah, I feel so gutted for him. I mean, I feel like he should have had a win by now, but like you said, it's going to be sweeter later on.
Absolutely. And do we see anybody, how many laps to green are we currently sitting at? It doesn't look like anybody's gone down for pits that didn't have to at this point. So I think that is the strategy for everybody, to go ahead and hold strong as we kind of take a look back through our field. See how everybody's doing back here. Of course, our last winner at Watkins Glen, Jay Bast, driving that Golf McLaren car from the 1997 Le Mans race. I mean, it's really interesting, all of the different racing disciplines people came up with that they wanted to run for this.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's gorgeous seeing all the different disciplines come together with those beautiful throwback cars. Kind of just giving us a throwback of our childhood, right? I mean, granted, I wasn't born in the 90s. I was a 2000s baby, but
Ooh, you're so young.
still,
I've seen. Young.
I've seen all these cars. I have die casts of a lot of these cars actually, so I'm somewhat cultured.
As a 90s kid, I can safely say that I wasn't old enough to quite watch TV to really recognize them that hard. It was definitely later, like early 2000s, that they became conscious in my memory banks. But yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks like we hit that choose cone. A lot of interesting choices took place. What was the advantage here? Is it this high line or is it this low line at this point?
At this point, I'd still say the low line. I feel like you're going to get a better start on the low line, especially when the leader's there.
Trying out a new finish line cam here, just to take a look at everybody whiz by. Thought it looked pretty cool. Yeah, it turned out all right.
Ooh, Clifton into the fence.
Oh, already? He's holding it up there. I don't think iRacing is going to declare a caution for this. And of course, we do operate on iRacing cautions only, just on a matter of, you know, iRacing tends to know best in this scenario. And it looks like our top 3 stays about the same. Jacob Bradley, Jonathan Cofield, Dustin Bawley, followed up by Blake Hoppy and Logan Monteith. That is a top 5 for the ages already at this point. I mean, we've known Jacob Bradley, Dustin Bawley, Logan Monteith, all hardcore competitors. Blake Hoppy, really just a string of bad luck that's kept him out of, you know, decent finishing positions. But Jonathan Cofield, he is brand new to us. You know, we're finally getting to see him for the first time. So he's really impressing already. If he can finish anywhere in the positions that he's running, let alone win this race, it is definitely going to be very impressive. I don't think we've had a rookie start winner for this series yet, have we?
I don't think so.
Not on their
no.
first race, no.
Yeah, no debut wins this season, but it's definitely looking possible for Jonathan Cofield. Like I said, I was hyping him up in the chat, so I know what he's worth, and he's definitely not disappointing me right now.
Absolutely. As we look back here at the battle between 5th through 10th, we're looking at Samuel Stoner's car, of course, right now, the 65 Cartoon Network car, as he's approaching Adam Boyles of Impact Racing. You know, a big factor we talk about a lot is drivers' points, but the team points battle has been nothing short of impressive as well. We're currently sitting at a tie for first place in team points between Evil Empire Motorsports and Vintage Racing, which is very impressive when you come to think of what that has to mean. Both of those teams have 4 drivers, and they have raced every race. So to have gotten so close within each other, to have matched points exactly is incredible to me.
Yeah, it is, but Dustin with the... Oh, he hits the wall heavy on the
Dustin
exit of
falling
2.
back.
That is a dangerous spot. That is a dangerous spot, but it doesn't look like the car is damaged too badly. The wheel may be knocked out of alignment a little bit, but he'll get some pit later on and hopefully be able to fix that damage with not using a fast repair, but man, that's crucial right there. That could make him drop anchor for a little bit.
Absolutely. He's already getting caught up on by Adam Boyles, but I can imagine what the off-the-wall racing chat sounds like right about now from Dustin. I imagine it was a couple of expletives, but maybe not too many, as J-Bask is streaming to his Twitch as well right now, so probably tried to keep it a little clean for everybody. Adam Boyle's looking to the high side on him. This is another situation. He's taking the damage. He's not falling out of contention. If Adam gets the run on you, do you try to block him and hold, or do you let him by and wear down those tires?
Definitely not. I knew if I had damage, I'd let him by most likely if he came up on me pretty quickly like he has been. I feel like Dustin's also a smart enough racer. There is a car stuck in the bottom of the track. He escapes and he goes to the pit road. It looks like it goes Anthony, but let's see what he does here. Oh, Adam looking towards the inside, but the 21 sends it in there. He's trying to hold. He feels like he has enough speed.
Looking back real quick at what happened to Anthony Cangelosi, it looks like he touched the wall and he just sent it down. He came up. Oh, it looks like he just got too loose. He ended up pinching Charles Roderick into the wall. And they both just immediately ejected to pits so as to not cause any issues. Good on them both. Hate to see a racing incident like that happen as we turn back to this battle between Adam Boyles and not much of a battle. Oh! Adam Boyle's getting real tight on Dustin Bawley, but that car control comes into play as he makes the clean pass.
Yeah, that was a great pass. We should go back and look at Steve Loving coming through the field. He just got around Ryan Huff, it looks like, and he's going to be up into 17th after starting around 24th position. So he's already made up a decent amount of spots here at this difficult track to pass on, and he's approaching Jackson Samsel. I wonder if Jackson's going to make it easy on him.
Yeah, taking a look here. We already know there's a little bit of bad blood still from last season at Sonoma between Jackson Samsel and Steve Loving, but I don't think Jackson's ever been a guy to not be professional in an environment. So it looks like, yep, he's letting him by. He touches the wall a little bit, but I think that was just him trying to make sure he gives perfect clearance for him. I don't think Jackson wants to be responsible for anybody's day ending.
I agree with that, and man, Steve is going to be coming through the field with a vengeance, I think. I feel like he's going to get at least inside the top 10 before the first pit cycle, but it's going to be close. Look at Connor Morse, though, up into 14th. Oh, looking at Brian Brobst, who just got really, really loose off of 2. Connor Morse, remember, like we said, on probation, got to be very, very careful where he stands. and he's worked his way up to 14th after not qualifying, starting at the back, about 28th. So he's made up about half the field.
And that's something that's so important that, you know, as race control admins of the series, we've been trying to, you know, make sure is really stressed to Connor. We want him to be able to continue running. We don't want to see Impact Racing lose a driver in the season. Is that, you know, he's at this point he might have made a huge push forward and could have been in the top 10, but it would have been that aggressive style that could have caused an accident. So rather, take the slow, steady approach. It's going to be better on your tires in the long run, and you're going to find yourself climbing up to somewhere like 14th already.
Definitely. He's doing a great job. I'm very impressed with him, though, because that is a lot of cars to pass within 30 laps here at Darlington. But Jay Bass just got around Robert, and he did it very, what is it? Man, I can't think of the word right now. I'm tongue-tied, too, with my throat, but authoritatively, that was the word. He came off the two sliding. Yeah, came off the two sliding, put it right under Robert, and just drove past him. Now pulling some lengths on him.
It looks like we're having some passing here. I'm trying to see exactly where in the back here as well. But you know, everybody has pretty much been caught up in anything is kind of stuck back here right now. Michael Gudger is gonna, you know, he's no stranger to getting himself back up after taking a bad spot. It looks like he dives down, and he's letting the 38 car just run right by him. Clifton Simmons. Oh, Peter Stewart. Look at this battle between Peter Stewart and Brady Powers. They are side by side right now.
Who's going to let up, though, going into one? It doesn't look like either of them are.
Neither of them. Oh, it's so tight.
Oh,
Peter
man,
Stewart
that is just such a sketchy spot.
Giving it back to Brady Powers. He's going to try to get the run again and try to catch up on him. Amazing attempt at a pass there, but Brady just able to stonewall him. He had the better exit. He had the better hold on the line, and Peter just had to back out of there or risk taking them both out.
You know, we were talking about Connor coming from the back, too. Look at Brady Powers, started 23rd up to 9th, and still pulling away, it looks like, from Peter Stewart. Just a little bit, and it looks like he's getting to that pack in front of him with 2 laps down Carter Dyson and Sean Johnson, who's running 8th right now. Not a bad run for him. Obviously, we knew that he was going to be very happy coming to this racetrack and very confident in himself, and he's doing a great job.
It looks like, speaking of, Sean Johnson is getting real up close and personal with
oh, we got a pass. We got a pass going into turn 1 right now for 5th. Oh, it's Stoner, the rookie.
Stoner.
Sent it
under. Slide job.
What a move. Sends it in there, passes him.
No wall touch whatsoever. Clears Adam Boyles. Adam very smartly backing off there, just said, you know what? You want it that bad, man? You can have it. As we said, there is strategy to letting that man by at that point. He just absolutely burned up his tires on a move like that. But boy, was it entertaining.
Yeah, he is ripping, though. He is flying. That's entertaining for sure. So it looks like
Logan
Samuel
Monteith
Stoner
real close on Blake Hoppy as well. Oh, Blake Hoppy, a little bit of a blinker there, but Logan Monteith also really close up here on Blake Hoppy. What were you saying about Samuel there?
He's looking really, really fast. I think he ran the fastest last lap around, but he is catching these two in front of him pretty quickly, I think.
As we take a look now at the field, this field is mixing up with lapped cars already at this point, and it's looking really incredible. Just really competitive racing. This is the type of racing we've been hoping to see all this time. Oh, and Damian Marquez gets up high. Logan Monteith goes around him.
Oh, Stoner into the wall. Stoner heavy into the wall.
That's got to be from that tire wear. I mean, those tires at this point, would that be because the tires are hot? Oh, he gets up into Damian. What happened there, Samuel? Damian's in the wall, man.
Damian looked like he just fenced it trying to get out of the way, but
and
man,
Samuel just still ended up in his backside. Dustin Bally going for the pass.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be too happy if I was Samuel Stoner, but I mean, there's a yellow for, I'm guessing.
For Damian Marquez.
I'm guessing
it looks
it's Damian.
Like
yep.
Anthony Cangelosi possibly collected here. Damian tried to dive down track. Oh, he just lost it. Looks like his tires just spun. And Anthony Cangelosi could not see him, didn't have anywhere to go, plowed right into him as he was coming across the track. That is not good there. I don't know what Damian was thinking the way he was trying. It looked like he had some clearance initially, but as he tried to come down, he just spun that car. He thought he corrected it. He should have tucked back up into the wall, though. That really is unfortunate for Anthony. He plowed him straight. Just probably didn't feel like he had anywhere to go at that time. It was too close.
No, I mean, he made the right choice to go down to the middle of the track, but yeah, unfortunately, Damien just came down the track a little bit and got doored. Definitely nothing really that Anthony could do, so
As we go on
it's
board with Anthony
unfortunate.
Cangelosi now, see what he was kind of seeing. It looks like he dove down because he saw... Oh, that's the worst. Yes, indeed. If you go take a look at that as we head into cockpit view as well. Go take a look from that angle. Anthony was doing a pass coming out of passing Robert Brobst. And as he comes out, he sees Damien going up the track. He goes down, and Damien turns back down the track to get out the way. And
Man,
unfortunately, he
that-
drove right into the way.
That is unfortunate. Well, do you want to get somebody in the booth real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Who are you thinking? As everybody looks to be pitting at this point.
Well, let's do our leader right now.
Steve Loving? There you
Our race leader that's led most of the laps.
go.
All right, Jacob, you got us up in the booth?
I got you guys.
All right. Well, I mean, not a bad performance so far. Led pretty much every single lap, and just got new tires, it seems. So, how you feeling?
Feel pretty good. We have a good car here. Worked with Jonathan a little bit and feel pretty good as a team. So glad we picked him up, and car feels good. So hopefully we can keep driving away from the field like we have been.
Yeah, man. I mean, right now, knock on wood, it's looking like your race to lose. Just a little over 100 laps to go, so still a long way. You taking the easy approach and just saving those tires and trying to pull away?
Yep, off these greens, I've been just going as easy as possible and running as long as I can, and it seems to have been working. We put a big margin on the field on that last long run, so just getting around that lap traffic is going to be important, and keeping up that pace.
All right. Well, good luck. We'll let you go back with the team, go talk a little bit more, and go get that juice cone. So, good luck out there. Good run so far, man.
Thank you, guys.
I have an update here. As it looks like you pulled somebody in the wrong way there. I have an update for us though. As team owner of Off the Wall Racing, of course that makes me a team owner for Dustin Bawley, Jay Bast, Austin Holbrook, who isn't here right now because he is in fact getting married. Congratulations, Austin Holbrook. We're happy that you're not here because that's a happy occasion for you. And of course, Charles Broderick, who we saw ended up getting into some situations. He actually sent me a message and he told me, hey boss, I had 8+ minutes of required repairs after getting hit and was already facing lots of laps down. And he had a situation arise with a work call that came in at the same time. So he just decided he was going to park it for the rest of the race. So that is Charles Broderick's night over.
Unfortunate, but I understand 8 minutes of repairs is quite a bit, and you're not going to be able to get much back with that. So I get it, but hopefully we get to see him next week too. And also congrats, Austin. I hope you do come back and watch what went on at Darlington, even though you're having a great old night. So congrats, man. That's awesome.
As we see here, it looks like, things have shaken up already. Let's take us through this this top 5 right now. Who are we looking at?
So it is looking like we have Steve Lovin choosing the outside lane, and he is the leader on old tires. So gonna see how long he can last on those 40-something lap tires. We have Ryan Huff on the inside, who also didn't pit. So this is gonna be pretty interesting having the old tires block the that first lane. But it looks like Jacob Bradley took the inside, so he's gonna be third. The first car behind Ryan Huff, and it's going to be Blake Hoppy on the outside. He's going to get a good start, it looks like, just following Steve Loving, which could be big, honestly. It could be really, really big going into one.
Absolutely is. Oh, looks like a little bit of a checkup play by Steve Loving to get him some room on that restart, and he's driving away with it. Not making a huge gap, but big enough to make a difference. Blake Hoppy hot on his trail, though.
Whoa! Cofield with a huge save. Did you
Jonathan
see
Cofield
that?
dropping all the way back. I'm definitely going to take a look here. We're going to actually reverse our stream here for a moment, just because, if Tyler's saying an incredible save, we got to see that. looks like he comes in. Oh, he dives under Logan and just starts turning left. Almost steers right back up into traffic, but manages to hold it. That's a pro move if I've ever seen one.
That just shows that car control that dude has. He is awesome.
Absolutely. As we take a look here, Jacob Bradley not far off, holding third, trying to catch himself back up. We are already bunching back up. Connor Morris looking for a big outside pass, taking a charge there. And it looks like he's
going under
making
Spooner
the
right
pass
now.
on Samuels. Oh, Dave Grajewski loose and that's a spin. Peter Stewart.
That's going to collect a couple cars. Unfortunately.
Oh, it's still collecting cars.
Yeah, that was just a big moment by Dade, and it looks like an accordion effect right there. Peter Stewart had the check up, and Cofield behind him had the check up, and that's unfortunate.
No,
well,
I'm definitely on the wrong car here,
Steve,
I think, but let's see. As we take a look back. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it was just on Dade getting a little loose, and then people just right on his tail had to check up.
As we take a look here, we're going to go to blimp view as we try to take a look here at the overhead. Dade Grajewski, I don't know exactly what happened there. He definitely checked up. Maybe he saw Connor and thought something was happening, but it ended up sending Peter back as he had to check up immediately. Sends him right into Jonathan Cofield, who ends up getting caught up here. And this just continues, this effect, as Tyler DeTalent dives down as well. Nathan Gentry in the wall. Clifton Simmons, oh, I don't even know what happened to Carter Dyson that sent him straight up into Clifton. And Jackson managing to avoid it, burning up them tires, but it looks like he didn't take any damage off of it. Quite a number of guys collected here in that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one, and it all came from one checkup. I don't know if Dade just got a little tight or a little loose or something, but it looks like he just stopped in front of Peter Stewart.
Like I said, I'm not really sure. It really does appear as though he might have thought he saw something that he didn't actually end up seeing. It's not something good, that's for sure. As we're sitting here in this caution, is anybody you want to bring in at this time?
Let's bring in Steve Loving. I mean, he stayed out on old tires and he led the first couple laps. Let's bring him in.
Let's do it.
Hey, Steve, you got us up in the booth?
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much. So, a bold decision to stay out on those old tires, but it looks like it's paying off. You had a little bit of a gap to Blake. What was your mindset going through there?
Well, we got 3 sets of tires. I already used one after a teammate didn't lift enough for me on turn 1 and destroyed the car, but tires were 25 laps old. Everybody else is about 37, so I had no choice to stretch it out, and I got to make sure I save them for later in the race.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good strategy right there. How's your car feeling tonight? I know you were at the back after the incident with your teammate, but up back at the front, you fairly confident the rest of the night?
I think so. It's a good pack. We got a lot of fast guys up front, so as long as I keep it out of trouble and not burn it up in 3 and 4 and touch the wall and take care of the car, it should be fine. But my get out of jail free cards, they're gone.
Yeah, well, I do feel like that you'll be pretty solid here coming through the race. I mean, you're very, very consistent, very smooth. So I believe in you, and we're excited to see what you could do the rest of the race, man.
Now, Steve, before you end up getting taken out of here, I just want to say, if you go back through the broadcast after that incident with Michael Gudger earlier, I believed in you 100%, man. I definitely didn't discount you at all. Don't listen to what that guy on TV said. We definitely knew you. We were talking about the heartbreak of it. But again, here you come, proving everybody wrong that you are definitely a strong driver out here to get all the way back to where you are with this strategy. Hoping to see you end up getting up there so you can finally take that win home.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It helps being in the lead. At least I can get that jump that gives me a good 1 second gap. If I can do that and take it easy, it gives me at least a couple laps smooth before everybody starts barreling down.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll let you go back to your team here and start talking there. So thank you for joining us here, and good luck.
Thanks.
All right, I didn't put myself there this time, so I'm here.
I think it's a miracle
like
that we didn't ruin Jacob Bradley's race when you pulled him in earlier.
Why did you say that? I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to mention it to jinx it.
You know,
All right,
I'm disappointed in you, Tyler. I don't know why you didn't believe in Steve. Look at him, proving you wrong.
I mean, that's what you got to do with Steve. You gotta count him out, right? You gotta count him out so then he gets fired up and starts growing. So
That's right.
going back to the green flag here, and Steve's gonna get a good jump. Logan isn't gonna get as good of a jump. Blake on the inside though, looking like he's spinning the tires. Logan is gonna go through there side by side with. Oh,
Those
he
cars
gets
got
close to
real
the fence.
wobbly out there, huh?
Ooh, that was scary. But Steve Lovin
Logan
out front with a
coming in
big gap.
tight.
Here comes Bradley.
Wow, look at them shaking up already here. This is quite the group. But I mean, once again, we have to just give credit where credit's due. You know, we're looking at our leader right now, Steve Bally, as everybody's just fighting to try to grapple for position. Jacob Bradley, of course, charging back. He said, you know, this is my race. I had it. He is making up time very quickly. Hopefully he's not overdriving it, but there is still plenty of race left and plenty of strategy to go around. And it is oh so important to get those most laps led bonus points. But as we were saying before, Steve Loving is, if anything, one of the best drivers out here in terms of pure skill and strategy. So, you know, just to put a long story short, I believe in Steve. So if you're hip to YouTube lingo out there, you know what I'm putting down.
I believe in Steve. I like that. But let's see if Jacob believes in him right here. He's coming up
Oh,
on him on the
real
exit
tight on
two.
him.
Gets right on his bumper.
He's got the run, and he's heading to the inside. And
Steve
a
gonna
clean
back
pass.
out wisely.
Yes, indeed. There is no point in fighting too hard at this point. Steve's got a bonus point for leading the lap. Steve feels confident he can hold his position up there and make some strategy calls. Let him burn up them tires. Let him run out of fuel. You know, whatever it's going to take. I mean, personally, I'm not too familiar with Darlington. I haven't had the chance to run it like you guys have. What kind of fuel situation are we looking at on a track like this right now?
So when I was running a couple laps, it looks like he got about 65 to 67 laps. Green.
Like
Oh
Bobby
no!
Cook
Jay
clearing
Bass gets
inside.
turned.
Jay Bast.
He gets on the back straightaway. It looks like he got turned by Cofield.
Lots of damage to that front and side. He's still going, and no caution by iRacing.
Oh, Tyler did talent in the wall.
Tyler to talent.
Tyler's
Also,
gonna hold it up
everybody's
there.
real shaky back here.
Oh no,
Jackson
man.
Samsel getting caught real quick right now by Peter Stewart. And it looks like
Let's
everybody.
look at this battle for 10th. So Ryan Huff on old tires stayed out. Connor Morse is trying to find a way around him, but he checks up for looks like Samuel Stoner.
Yes, indeed. And we also have a side-by-side battle. The Brobst boys currently 9th, 8th position. And Brian Brobst makes a clean pass on Robert, but Robert is already gaining on him. And it looks like he might end up looking to go to that inside already. Take a big push there. I mean, this is just phenomenal racing. We've had a few accidents, but man, I mean, there was definitely some avoidable incidents that occurred. Connor Morse going for the pass on Samuel Stoner right now as he's heading into the turn. Oh, Jonathan Cofield getting right in his quarter panel, and Connor just jumps down. He didn't want to be involved in it. Let him right by. Connor goes back down the field. He's not taking the chance.
Yeah, I mean, smart move by him. He's racing like he's on probation.
That's right.
Dustin over the
He's
radio
showing he
going
doesn't wanna
dun
make
dun
a
dun
mistake.
dun. He's catching Brady Powers right now. Dustin feeling it. Logan having to give him a Mike's clear because he was doing the Jaws themed with Brady Powers.
He's getting in his head a little bit. It's just a little mind games. Just a little mind games is all.
But they're both catching Adam Boyles right now, it looks like.
Brady
So we're
Powers
going to have to keep
probably
an eye
going
on
for
that
a
battle for the
pass
top
here.
5, top 4.
You take a look.
So as the sun starts to come down, this track is going to get a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter, but with more grip in it though. So this whole this whole evening kind of thing, it's going to cool the track off into the night, and these cars are going to start handling differently, and we're going to see if other drivers adapt better than the leaders. That's a big factor that a lot of people forget about.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they're driving on pretty hot tires, but I mean, will the cool at least? I mean, they're going to have to make the adaptation to the temperature change. But is it going to be an advantage at all? You know, being able to cool these tires down, is it going to help some of these guys stick, or is it going to be more of a disadvantage at that point?
Honestly, I think it's going to be more of an advantage to some and disadvantage to others. it's all about driving style. So these cars are very, very interesting with their driving styles. You can either drive them off the right rear or the right front, and either one works. I mean, obviously you want to drive them off the right rear more than the front, but on a cool track like this, we saw it at Atlanta, tire wear wasn't as big of a thing then as it was if the track was very, very hot.
Steve Loving dropped all the way back to 10th now. He is really just driving calm. Jonathan Cofield makes the pass on him. And, I mean, like we said, this is a man who has confidence if he's letting himself get dropped back this far. He's got a plan. He's known that we've had some pretty decent green flag stretches. He knows there's other people in this field who are not interested in seeing their nights ended early. So everybody's giving everybody a lot of room, and that's really good to see here. Only at 3 cautions, I believe. Are we at 3 or 4? I can't recall. I believe we're at the 3rd caution so far this evening with 60 laps in. I mean, so to him, this probably looks like, you know, I imagine he's probably not relying on caution. He's relying on if this is going to go green, and he must feel confident that he's going to be able to make up the difference.
I agree. Let's go to this battle for 10th again, though. Looks like Ryan Huff is holding up a train of cars right now. And look at Dave Grajewski running in 13th right now. Very solid run for him at a track that he's not very confident in.
There's definitely a line of cars wanting to get around Ryan Huff. Samuel Stoner looking to that outside, wondering, man, I get to run. Oh! Some big moves happening there. Connor Morse once again just drops back, says, nope, I'd rather drop back and take a little time than get involved in that.
Wow, look at Dade.
That's the unfortunate aspect of ending up on probation, but hey, you put yourself there in the first place, you're going to have to deal with some of your fallout, and that might be Bass's position. Yeah, they're really
Dade
fighting
and
it out.
Peter Stewart both passed Ryan Huff in that corner, so Ryan Huff dropping now pretty big. As Jackson
nice
gets
save. Jay Bass ends up
Bass
in
into the wall.
And everybody's kind of
That was
getting
a
by
great
him.
save.
Looks like
Yeah, that was
Connor
a
didn't quite
fantastic
get touched
save.
by anything there, and he's also catching himself back. That's probably what's been really incredible about this so far, is that there have been plenty of people eating wall, and this was not going to be a surprise. Everybody's been talking about it in practices leading up, in the pre-race practice beforehand as they gather on Michael Boyles here. That 32 car getting real tight on him. And Jackson Samsel once again. Oh, Michael Boyles up in the wall. I don't know what's going on with Jackson. He seems just a little behind pace. Every time ends up getting up somewhere, it seems like it's just because somebody behind him ends up having to check up a lot. Michael Boyle's getting real tight on him, though. Now he's going for the clearance.
Looking to get around him. And Jackson's going to let him have it going into the corner. Let's see if the 32 of Sean tries to take advantage of it, but he doesn't. Sean dropped all the way to 16th after being inside the top 10, and I feel like he's going to work his way back, but unfortunate for him. I mean, I really want to see him finish inside the top 10, let alone the top 5.
Absolutely. We're steadily looking back here at this battle inside of the 15 position. There's just a lot of cars grouped up all at once. They're all getting real tight on each other. Michael Gudger not far off of this. He's trying to catch his way back up after the incident with his teammate Steve Loving earlier. That ended up, you know, taking a bit of time out of his race. And as we catch back up,
lap 65.
oh, Connor going for the inside.
Oh, let's watch that.
Connor inside. He's not sending it too
hard.
hard.
Oh, Jackson in the fence.
Connor's holding it real steady. And he bops
Good
down,
job by
seeing
Connor.
Jackson come out of his way. I gotta say, you know, he's still, you know, he's got it. Oh, Jay has to dive around the 32 car.
What a
Sean
move.
Johnson, Tyler DeTalent gets out of the way too. It looks like he got on the fence a little bit as these guys start charging back up. This is a lot of what we're seeing at this point. Connor Morse on Jackson Samsel. He's probably going to go for a pass here soon enough, I'd imagine. Jackson keeps ending up in that wall. He is not friends with that turn.
Yeah, once you get that first set of damages on the right side, then it just becomes a magnet, man.
Connor Morse.
The aero dependency is off. Am I cutting out a little bit?
No, you sounded good. It was just Connor Morse was going for that inside line for a minute. He lost the run he had on it. He ends up sliding up a little bit there.
Woo. Nick Seraph, too, sideways off that exit of 2.
This is definitely where a lot of the battling is happening. And like I said, you know, everybody hitting the wall. Connor Morse going for the pass. And Connor gets a
Nice
very
move.
clean pass. Jackson gives him a lot of space there as well. I can't hear radio chatter, but I wouldn't be surprised to have heard that Jackson said, "Just go around, man."
No, Connor just said thank you, and I think that Jackson's got a little tight or loose or
Oh,
something
Jay
up there and
back
had
into
to
the
check
wall
up.
again. He's definitely got some damage probably to his axle. Jay having a lot of issues. Tanner Prater, looks like Tanner Prater has crashed. Trying to take a look now at the replay. Oh, he locked up, and Nick Seraph ends up right underneath him. And he ends up coming into that inside area. Doesn't hit the wall. But that was some damage right there as we continue to go green here. Take another look. What ended up causing him? Why did he lock up his wheels like that and come down so low? Why did Nick Seraph dive down the track up behind him? Very interesting to see what happened there.
Yeah,
As we
there's
take a
definitely
look.
some questionable moves going on here, but it is what it is.
Connor
Let's
Morse getting a
see,
little
though.
overzealous as he's coming up on
Oh,
Ryan Huff.
a battle for second. It looks like Logan got past Blake, but Blake is not letting up.
Here we go,
These
taking a
two, they
look
know
at
each
Logan
other,
Monteith.
or well,
Blake Hoffey.
they don't know each other in real life, but they're affiliated in real life. I think Logan's cousin is married to Blake Hoppy.
I
So
believe that
it's
is the
very
case.
interesting.
They live not too far from each other, if I'm correct. So
But they never met, but they better not get into it on track or someone's going to start going throwing
oh,
hands over
Nathan
there.
Gentry really got to dive down, get out of there, and he gets out of the way.
Good job.
And
Good job by
these two,
Nathan,
we're
but-
talking about Logan Monteith and Blake Hoppy like they're bitter enemies. These guys are teammates. This is Evil Empire Team Sport. These guys are teammates running, fighting for each other. But that's the thing. I mean, just as much as you think you're going to give your teammate respect, you'd think that from watching races and say, well, yeah, aren't you guys working towards the same goal? Not always. You definitely don't want to wreck your teammate. But as you see earlier, sometimes you just end up in a battle and you end up in a situation like Michael Gudger and Steve Loving earlier where you're battling and you just, if something happens.
Definitely. And honestly, I'll be honest, drivers have big egos. They have to have big egos or they're going to get swallowed up. So everyone wants to be the best on their team. Like with Jackson last season, if he was faster than me, I probably would be more hesitant to let him by than he would me. So honestly, that puts me in the bad teammate category, but it is what it is, and that's how teams operate sometimes. You want to be better than your teammate, but you will give them more respect on track. You will give them a little bit more room than you would the other person, but there's always that inner team battle. There's always that inner team battle as well as the championship and team championship. So there's a lot of things to fight for.
Absolutely. As we're following along here with Dustin Bally, let's go on board with him on that roof cam. Take a look. See a little bit of the strategy he's looking to run here as he's trying to close the gap on Jonathan Cofield.
Cofield getting around Dustin Bally.
Yes, indeed. That's what we're looking at right now. Dustin Bally, it looks like he's just losing it to losing time on Jonathan Cofield. I wonder if this is also him just trying to save. I mean, the temperatures have got to be dropping out there. I imagine at this point the sun is dropping so fast. I mean, there's got to probably be some different car feel at this point that these guys are dealing with. So it might be smarter to take it a little slow, warm up them tires. We've got a caution out. Ryan Huff.
Looks like Jackson is apologizing, so let's see if it was on him. Obviously, my graphics card says otherwise.
Oh, wow. Wait. And this is the unfortunate aspect of broadcasting when people are running real nicely. We had a side-by-side battle with Jay Bass and Ryan Huff back here for position around 20th. And Ryan just eats the wall. This is the most crash I'm seeing here. I'm not seeing anything that happened with Jackson Samsiel. You have to give me
no,
Jackson
you're right.
taps him. Yep, he ends up hitting him. I see here. Jackson hits Ryan Huff. That's what happened there.
That's unfortunate. Ryan Huff was having a pretty solid run, but it looks like he's going to have to go down pit road and eat a fast repair if he hasn't already.
And as we take a look here, Jacob Bradley diving into pit road. Blake Hoppy as well. Logan Monteith, followed by Adam Boyles. Brady Powers staying out on track. Looks like Jonathan Cofield, Dustin Bally, Brian Brobst, Robert Brobst. Samuel Stoner's going to stay out. Peter Stewart, Steve Loving, Connor Morris, Michael Boyles, Sean Johnson, Jay Bast also coming in. Tyler DeTalent looks like he's coming in as well. Jackson Samso looks like a little bit of a last-minute decision. He decides he probably needs to come in. He's got some damage. Nathan Gentry staying out. Try to get his lap back there. It looks like he probably got lucky dog. And Michael Gudger also staying out. Probably trying to get some position back, some laps back there. Ryan Huff, of course, is going to be in, depending on whether he's in a fast repair or not. I can't recall if he ended up in a situation earlier, but he's not out of his pit yet, so you got to wonder at that point.
Yeah, I think he's already taken it, unfortunately. But let's go look at the leaders right now. So we have Brady Powers up in the lead. Started 23rd, mind you. But this is going to be interesting. He's on old tires as well. Samuel Stoner as well on old
Warming up
tires.
them
So
tires
once
right
again,
now.
so
Trying to
once
shake 'em
again,
loose.
those two are going to be blocking that front row from the faster guys behind him on newer tires. Jacob Bradley, he's in 3rd place right now, but he's going to be, I'm assuming, lining up behind his teammate, and those two are going to get a good jump all together and take off. And I wonder if Brady's going to let homeboy by. Gotcha. Sounds good.
All right, so it looks like we'll pull somebody in right now. Who are you thinking we're going to pull in this time?
I'm pulling in Sean, Mr. Darlington himself, Mr.
There it
Moon Pie.
is,
You got
Mr.
us?
Moon Pie.
Hi.
So, having an up and down run, it looks like you were up inside the top 5 for a little bit, inside the top 10, and it looked like you were out of it for a while. What's going on? What's happening?
I got myself into the wall on the first run, actually on the straightaway somehow. And that first caution there, I went ahead and took about a minute's worth of repairs. And that's dropped me back to the back of the field. I'm just having to work my way back up.
All right. Well, how are you feeling for the rest of the run, though? You still have a fast repair or no?
Yeah, I still got my fast repair. You know, I think things are going pretty well. It looks like I'm probably going to be lining up somewhere around the 12th position. So we still got 80 laps, or not 80 laps, but 67 laps. So hopefully I can work my way back up.
Hey, man, well, I believe in you. I mean, obviously, I'm your boss, so I have to believe in you. But you're Mr. Darlington, man. You were running really, really solid in practice and qualifying. So I assume I'm going to see you back inside that top 10 at least, with, you know, probably within the top 5, too. I totally believe in you, man.
It's a plan, and thank you so much.
All right. Well, before I let you go, we're going to watch you choose here. Choosing the inside. Any motives on that?
Just always want to choose the inside at Darlington. It gives you a place to escape if things go bad, and it gives you more control going into turn 1.
All right. And then lastly, before we go, since it's becoming a little darker on track, the sun's going down and darkness is coming out, have you noticed any difference on track?
I can't really say because my first run got kind of messed up with a knocked out alignment front wheel. But I think in that last run, I was still trending neutral, even deep pretty far into it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll let you go back to your team before the green flag drops, man. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right.
As we look back here, 1-2, Brady Powers, Samuel Stoner, not far behind, Jacob Bradley. As we come here, the pace car is diving out. And, I mean, that's what you're going to see right there. Teammates back-to-back. It's been a very, very common sight for Mach 1 racing.
Green flag drops.
It looks like
Stoner sliding them tires.
Brady Powers almost looked like he threw a little block on Samuel Stoner at the start there. His back end came out a little fast. Might have just been spinning his tires as well.
Yeah, I think both of them spun their tires, but let's see look how fast Jacob just got on the 55's tail.
Absolutely.
And I wonder if he's going to let him.
He is.
He is. He just
Jacob
backs
Bradley
off completely.
with the pass. Brady Powers probably, I mean, at this point, I wonder what the strategy is. These guys, if you have ever sat in any kind of session with them while inside of their team chat, it is strategy, strategy, strategy. These guys know each other like the backs of their hands, and they are willing to work together to the end to meet the same goal, and that is to win races and end up, you know, possibly even coming out with that team championship, which is not too far off, as Blake Hoppy's going way down low, going in for a double pass.
Oh, we're almost 3 wide behind him.
Yes, indeed.
Stoner, Ollie, and Brady Powers. Ooh, man.
Oh, Dustin
Stoner
Bolly.
on the other side. Here comes the
Jonathan
58 of
Cofield real
Cofield.
tight. So much going on so quickly. Brian Brobst looked like he was coming in, but it just looks like he kind of lost whatever kind of run he had on Samuel Stoner. Steve Loving just behind him.
Oh, Bali around the
Johnson
55.
making the pass. Connor Morse kind of staying middle track right now. Might have been looking to see if he had any room to pass, but ended up holding on.
Cofield around Brady as well.
Brady Powers dropping back, but he did what he was set out to do. He held a position up front. Jacob Bradley was able to get back up there, and he let Jacob get back up to where he is, and now he's got a full second over Logan Monteith in second. I mean, this is just an impressive run that he's running here. As we take a look at all the cars flying by. Connor Morse looks like he's making a pass to the inside of that
the
Moon
Stoner.
car. Oh! Oh!
55.
Brady Powers!
They save it.
He was sideways.
Great job by everybody.
He saved it. Indeed. No yellow from that. Jay
I wouldn't
Bass
be
getting
too happy
caught
if
up
I
by
was
traffic.
Brady.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would not be too happy if I was Brady, but that was a great job by the entire field. Great awareness. Great job by Connor Morse, too. He was yelling at the whole field behind him, check up, we got a wreck. So, great job on him.
Absolutely incredible. Wow, unfortunate that he ended up back where he is at this point, but man, I mean, how can you be disappointed when you see something that incredible happening in front of you on camera and you see the save that comes out of it at that point? Just phenomenal stuff. Logan looks like he's closing the gap a little bit on Jacob Bradley here. I mean, we talk about it a lot. Logan is a top 5 podium type guy. He's always a favorite to come in and win a race. He's the resident Jimmy Johnson to me, man. So, I mean, you've raced with Logan a lot. You know his strengths. You know his weaknesses. What is somebody like Logan Monteith looking to do from this second position right now to eventually end up in that top spot?
So my worry right now is that he's pushing a little bit too hard trying to get to Jacob, but I think that he's going to reel himself in. He knows that he still has quite a bit of laps to go, a little under 60. So I think that he knows that he's just going to reel him in slowly and maybe push a little bit harder, maybe wear down his tires a little bit. But if he's able to get to the 50, then he's going to make it a battle with him. So yeah, I mean, like you said, Logan, the top 5 driver, he sets his sights on a bunny rabbit and he chases that thing, man. He is very, very consistent in that aspect of things where he will run you down.
Absolutely. It looks like Nathan Gentry crashed and he jumped to pits, took a tow immediately, thus not forcing a caution out. Unsure what happened to him there. Connor Morse dropping back major positions. What happened here?
It looks like he has some damage on the right side of his car, so he may have hit the wall.
And he gets out of the way, lets everybody by. Yes, indeed, his teammate Michael Boyle is coming up right now.
Back. He's doing a great job, man. Coming up and down through the pack, and oh, it gets real tight between Jackson and Samuel Stoner.
He gets the wall again. Connor Morse gets the wall again there. He might be having some trouble with his tires. He's plenty clear. Nobody's around him, but man.
Oh!
Man.
Let's go to Jackson real quick. He is battling hard with Dave Grajewski right now. Looks like Jackson tapped the wall a little bit and slid right down in front of the 6 car. Dave 4 laps down.
Wow.
I wonder what happened with him. I know he got caught up in a couple of wrecks, but
oh, he's going for the pass again. He wants position back. Let Jackson.
Hold on. Look at this gap between Logan. The gap between Logan and Jacob Bradley shrunk.
Jackson about pinches Peter Stewart in that spam car.
Let's see this battle.
As we take a look, they're really fighting, dogfighting here.
Almost in the fence.
Peter Stewart looking to go ahead and drop down to make that pass on the inside line there. Jackson probably going to say, you know what, have it, man, at this point. No, he's holding pretty strong.
No, he's fighting.
This is impressive considering the trouble he's had coming out of these turns, catching the wall. And maybe he just needed somebody on the outside to focus on battling.
Yeah, great defense, though, by Jackson right there. That was very impressive. Look at Steve Lovin, though, back up in the 7th. Like you said, you can't count him out, and I'm getting fired for ever even doubting him.
Well.
Ooh, Dustin sideways coming off a 2.
Dustin, the thing about Dustin that's so impressive, and you'll have to go back and watch races that he's been in so far this season, is Jonathan Cofield. Blake Hobby, this is real tight. Jonathan Cofield real tight in his quarter panel there, about coming up in the back of him. The thing about Dustin Bally is that I feel like when he's sideways, he somehow has more control of his car. Oh, Jay Bass
I mean, he's
crashes
a big
as
road
well.
course guy.
Jay Bass has crashed. He's jumped to pits. Not sure what happened here. Just try to take
We
a
have
look.
Clifton
real
coming
quick.
into pits as well. But look at this gap for the lead. It's shrunk down to 6/10 and a low 6/10 too. Let's see what it is
Wow.
this time by.
He slid up and caught the wall and just ended up pitting it into the wall and then taking it down and jumping to pits. Our last week winner at Watkins Glen having a tough break so far tonight as we jump back live. Take a look at Logan Monteith up here and Adam Boyles. There is quite the gap for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it was at a second. It was like 1.4 seconds, I think it was earlier. So he's running him down a little bit. He got it down to 6/10, and I wonder if he just pushed a little bit too hard. We're going to see what the gap is this time around. And it is at 7.4 now, and this time at the line, 7:09. So Logan a little bit faster that time around. So
Just looking at this, I mean, Jonathan Cofield and Dustin Bally are just fighting each other while Blake Hoppy's just driving away with it at this point. I mean, at one point there was a severe threat for both of these guys to pass him, and now Jonathan Cofield's the one making the run to try to get around him. The newest member of Mach 1 Motorsport, Mach 1 Racing, rather, apologize, who, of course, Jacob Bradley, our leader, is...
Ooh. We still have a battle going on with Jackson and Peter Stewart. Those two are going at it right now. So Peter just got around Jackson finally on the outside of 3 and 4. Got the run going into 1, but not without its struggles. But here comes Connor now. Let's see what Connor does with Jackson. I wonder if he's going to check up and try and get around him here. Try to back up the corner a little bit. It looks like it. He looks to the inside, but he doesn't pull the trigger on it. Going to see if he can get a better run coming out. Oh, here comes the run with Connor Morse.
Connor coming up, catching up on him. Back and back off. He's not willing to take the chance.
Jackson.
Oh, Jackson's in the fence. That's enough. And he says goodbye, Jackson. Hello to 14th place as he's climbing his way back up. Michael Boyle's teammate.
Oh, we just
closing in
have a
on
dude
Jackson as
named
well.
Johnny Rapp connect to the server. I don't know who he is and I don't know how he got in here, but all right.
Well, I mean, it's not like he's going to be able to just jump in at this point, so, I mean,
that's interesting. I've never seen this name before.
hope
I
you
guess
enjoy
we got
watching,
a new
man.
president of the track. Yeah.
You're a little bit late.
Maybe he's a spotter.
Yeah, as the president of Darlington.
Boyles in-
Oh, Michael Boyles. Got it really tight in there. Got a huge run on Jackson Samson. Must not have noticed it initially. Had to dive out of the way. He's looking to make the
pitches him.
pass on Jackson.
Jackson holding strong though. Great job. Jackson keeps out on the fence. They both get sideways. Oh, go to this battle right here. Dade having to check up, letting both or 3 cars by, even though he is a couple laps down. Going side by side in the 3 and 4. That's a big move right there. And Peter Stewart's going to come out on top and pass Samuel Stoner.
Connor Morse
But here comes Connor
looking,
Morse.
yeah, looking on the inside of Samuel Stoner here. Maybe not looking for a pass just yet. Probably. Oh, the wall for Connor Morse. Once again, he ends up back down track. He's slowing it. Yep.
Good
Trying to
save.
regain control of his car. Just saying, yep, I need to get control. I was too loose. I got out of it. I need to get control of that car. Let's just slow down, lose position. It's fine. We'll make it up. And he has shown that he
That was a
can make
great
it back
save.
up. Dave Grajewski looking to try to get some position back as he's trying to make back his lap up. So we take a look now at Tyler DeTalent racing Brian Brobst here. Brian eats the wall. I think I'm a curse here because Tyler's immediately passing Brian. Every time I switch to somebody, they're eating the wall a little bit. So, you know,
Tyler, though, it looks like I saw some sparks coming out of his car. I wonder if he's got some issues with that right front.
perhaps. I mean, that would be really unfortunate with the way he's running right now, getting himself back in that top 10 after the couple of incidents he had. I believe it was one wreck for sure, and another one I think he got tapped on. Could have ended his
Yeah.
night, but much like Steve Loving, just came right back to it. As we head into these corner cams, taking a look at the battles that are ongoing. Blake Hoppy getting real
Definitely.
sideways coming out of these turns.
That is what I like about these longer races, though, and these kind of tracks. You have a lot of comers and goers, and you have a lot of people that are at the back of the pack and then somehow emerge at the front, and then you have some people at the front who are like, how'd you go 4 laps down? And it's just topsy-turvy all the time, it seems like.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, it looks like nothing's quite close enough in a battle that I'm seeing that everybody's just a little bit off of each other. Robert Brope's coming in to pass Brian. Brian's just having a little bit of trouble keeping himself out of the wall right now. So Robert just goes ahead, takes it over.
Let's see if Tyler can run down Sean, though. 8th and 9th right there. Sean, I told him during the caution break that he can make his way back up into the top 10 and let alone the top 5, and he's doing just that, man. He's drove, I think, from 12th or 13th all the way up to 8th within that green flag run.
Absolutely, as we dive back down here. Taking a look back, Brady Powers, Michael Gudger trying to make a pass. Michael also, I mean, at this point, I imagine Michael is just trying very difficult, very hard to just get his lap back, keep his lucky dog position. Wow, he got really close to Logan Monteith there.
This is going to be really interesting. This is going to be very interesting, actually, because the Mach 1 teammate of Brady is in the way. He's in between Jacob and Logan right now as a lap car. Do you think we see him hold Logan up a little bit?
I mean, it would be smart strategy. Is there league rules against it?
Not necessarily, no, but I mean, it's kind of just a driver morality thing.
Well, let me tell you, at this point, oh, he does! He goes down, he throws a block on him, it looks like. I could be wrong there, but that definitely looked like he came down into Logan's lane. And now Logan's going to dive down. He's going to let him take it. That was probably enough to make the difference. Still driving him hard side by side, not just giving it to him. He's back, holding it back again. Wow. And in probably an unprecedented situation for Logan Monteith, he's racing a lap car. Oh, Brady ends up into the wall.
Oh, he pulls right in front of the 22 of Adam Boyles. Whew. Man, Brady in the way now. He almost cost Adam a front end.
I wonder how many people Brady's intending to hold up at this point. As
I definitely think
their passes.
I think that one was unintentional with Adam, but I do think it was intentional with Logan, and I don't think Logan's going to be very happy about that, and I wouldn't be.
Understandable, but you got to question again. I mean, it was enough of a hold-up to make a difference in catching. I mean, we still have opportunity for green flag pit stops, I imagine. I mean, do you think we're going to have to stop for tires again before this thing's out? We've still got about 40 laps to go.
For sure. We're going to have to stop one more time, I think, and Cofield around inside the podium now, and he's trailing down Logan a little bit. But yeah, these green flag pit stops, if we can get to them, that is going to be a game changer. This pit lane is so hard to get into that I'm going to have that pit lane screen up for a little bit when they start coming down pit road, and I'll point out whoever misses and whoever makes it.
Blake Hoppy is getting a report of Blake Hoppy crashed. He is pulling down now. He is
no,
on the inside. No caution for it, as it
having
looks like
such a great run.
It might have just been him. He comes up on Brady Powers here. Oh! That Brady Powers taps him, and it sends him out of the way. It's hard to see exactly what happened there. I have to go take a look again here as we maybe go on board.
The talent into the fence a little bit, going into 1 and 2, trying to catch Sean.
As we try to look at this right front suspension before we head into this. Take a look here. Oh, it's really hard to say who turned where on that, but the end result was the same. Blake Hoppy having his string of bad luck continue as that takes him a good bit down the field to 13th. Still running, though. Logan catching up
Jackson
to
getting out of the way.
Here.
Let's see if Dade gets out of the way. He needs to quick. Whoa!
Dade, whoa! Dade going way down.
Didn't see him in his mirror, it looks like, and Dade's going to slide right up in front of everybody. Not a very good move. Ooh, that was scary, man. But either way, Logan's 3.2 seconds back, especially after that that holdup by Jacob's teammate. That was. What's your opinion on that? Obviously, it's not in the rule book for team orders like that, but what's your opinion?
I think every team has done something of the sort at this point with this. We're bunching up a lot in this group, as you can see. But, I mean, do you call that good team strategy? I mean, again, if there's no outright rule saying, hey, You really shouldn't do that. And I mean, it wasn't an incident that caused any damage to Logan. It maybe just put a second of different time in between, and then he just raced him, trying not to lose his lap. Is that enough to say, you know, well, that's no good? I mean, sure, it's frustrating, but I mean, where in terms is the team strategy line basically drawn at that point?
Oh, I think you're right. I mean, it's clean. It's not in the rule book, but I think just as a driver morality thing, I know I said I'm a bad teammate earlier, letting people pass me, but I know that whenever I'm a lap down, I usually get out of the way, even if it's gonna hurt a teammate in front of me. I don't want to impede on a battle for the win. I mean, the only thing I'll do is maybe ride with you in the corner, and then after that, I'll let you have the corner. But I mean, teams are teams, man. You gotta help your teammate out. You gotta help your boy out, especially with bad luck. So it's good enough.
Jonathan Cofield closing the gap on Logan Monteith here.
Oh yeah, he's getting real close to him. I wonder if he's gonna be able to set up the move coming off of 2.
Let me tell you, that matte car with the little gloss on it, that is a good look.
It is
For that
beautiful.
58
I
car.
will give you that. Oh, he's on his bumper.
He's
He's
real
gonna get a
tight
good
with it.
run. Gonna get a great run. Logan's gonna give him the spot. He says it over the radio comms.
Just take it. Yep. That point, Logan probably already has his strategy in place. But that's another thing to factor in. Logan didn't lose second place, drop back to 5th. It didn't cause a big deal. Logan's fighting for first place. He's still sitting at a podium. So again, I mean, the most damage we're looking at is they're 5 seconds behind Jacob Bradley. Good lord. But at any moment, anything could change at this point. We could have a caution come out. iRacing throw a caution on an accident. I mean, we got a lot of people getting real close with each other, real tight and loving with one another.
Yeah, let's look at this battle for 9th right now. So Peter Stewart running 9th with a one of the Brobst brothers right on his tail. Has to fall off a little bit, but here comes Connor Morris looking for the top 10 spot. After he just gets around
Connor
Robert.
wants that run around Brian Brobst. I do have to admit something unfortunate. I realized something that peeved me a little bit personally. Outside of everything, you know, there's 8 different schemes, racing schemes on this track that I ended up creating for drivers for this race, and you know, all of them they took a lot of work here. Connor Morse's here is one of them, but another one is Jackson Samsel's Heinz car. And I am very displeased to realize now that he has the wrong version of the car that has the wrong alignment on the deck lid on it. After I took so much time fixing it. I'm gonna have to have a talk with him later about that. I'm a bit disappointed.
I think that warrants a disqualification.
Yes, indeed.
But
Connor
going
Morse
back to
passing
Connor
Brian
Morse, he's gonna
Brobst.
get underneath.
No slide
Yes,
job
he's
there,
gonna
just
clear
a
him.
clean pass. Oh, Brian!
Woo!
Brian was running
Dancing with it.
real hot out of that corner. I think Connor had a very clean pass on there. I think Brian was just a little hot coming out of it. He checked out. You know, it wasn't bad enough he had to majorly check up. He just had to make some adjustments. So, but wow, that was. I mean, look, I don't want to jinx him, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I hope I continue to see good stuff out of him. Tyler DeTalent coming up on Sean Johnson in the Moon Pie car as well here. The Mac Tonight car has seen a war tonight on that beautiful, beautiful scheme that Logan Monteith of M99 GRAFX, our series sponsor, created for him for this. The second place.
Oh, he's back in the fence.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Oh.
Like it's such a beautiful paint job.
We have our first pitter, Brady Powers, first car a lap down as well. He's going to be coming in this time by Dustin Bally about to come in. I'm going to go to pit lane and see everything.
Absolutely.
out.
Give us a pit report as Steve Loving's coming up on Jackson Samsel here. But we'll throw it to you in the pits as soon as you got a pit report ready for us. What are you seeing so far?
So it looks like Dustin Bally just made it down pit road. Same with Brady Powers. They both made it down successfully. And everyone's going to be having to go with 4 tires and full fuel here. Sorry, I had to set my mic down for a second because I was trying to set up a good camera angle. But it looks like those 2 are the first ones to come in, and that could benefit Dustin Bally a little bit.
The interesting point of Brady Powers deciding to do this, I wonder.
Maybe hoping
I
for
wonder
a
his
caution.
decision. Brady Powers
we got
out. Looks
another
like
car.
he took all his tires. Dustin
And it
Bolly
looks
looks like he's taking
like-
all 4 tires as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Carter Dyson just going down pit road now. The vacuum man.
Clifton Simmons as well.
Nobody else of big names yet. Nobody else that's in the front runner of this race just yet coming down pit road. But we only have 27 laps to go.
It might be
They're gonna have to
enough
come
to
down
make
at
a
some
big
point.
run back on the field. I have to question, though. I mean, maybe they're not anticipating a yellow, but maybe they think they can make up a big enough difference at this point. Maybe they feel that everybody else is going to have to end up coming into pit. They're getting it out of the way early right now to make that big move. I mean, if we take a look here, Dustin Bolly's a lap down. He's in 14th, though. It's not like he's way out of the race at this point. Same with Brady Powers, 17th. I believe he's 2 laps down, though. I can't quite see here. So that might be the case.
Yeah, and it still looks like nobody's coming down pit road. This is pretty interesting. Michael Gudger said that he's coming down pit road, and here he comes, coming in a little bit hot. Ooh, he's sliding a little bit, and it looks like he's going to make it. So this pit road is treacherous to get onto. You can't see the entry point. Very difficult, and when you start slowing down, it's a little bit off camber, so your car likes to slide and spin out.
Ooh, Tyler Talent getting real close. Oh, it looks like Sean Johnson's feeling himself getting caught up by Jackson Samsel a little bit. I mean, Jackson's just running a high line. He's even in the wall trying to get out of the way. And maybe that was just some strategy there by Sean trying to get a draft and get some speed coming off of him. But it almost looked like he was letting himself get held up by a car that was pretty out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting for sure. But Jackson laying that ketchup packet against the wall, and he's leaving a trail for sure on this whole trail.
Oh, he just eats it again! Goodness gracious.
Absolutely pancaked it. Let's look at Logan. He just said something on the mic. I think he said, go ahead and take it to Adam Boyles. I think Logan burned his stuff off.
Oh, Adam eats the fence a little bit, but, I mean, Logan's still not really pushing him for it. I'm curious what Logan is feeling. Nick Seraph touching the wall there as well. I wonder what Logan's current conditions are inside of that car. I mean, did he end up burning it up too much trying to race Brady Powers? Would it have been smarter just to kind of, you know, leniently fight him, or did he really feel like he was going to hold him up a big deal at that point?
Yeah, for sure. I think Logan's tires are just too burned up right now, and they're going to have to come down at some point, man. I just wonder when.
Jonathan Cofield is just getting past Clifton Simmons and Michael Gudger here, as he's got a 6-second gap to Jacob Bradley. And boy, if I'd have put money on it earlier, I'm feeling pretty good about my pick on this race.
Yeah, I agree.
Jonathan Cofield is definitely not a bad pick for his current position, but Jacob Bradley has a commanding lead. And Jonathan Cofield, I guess, just lost something there. And whoa, a little bit of a blink, but Clifton Simmons and Michael Gudger get back around him. Look like they're just trying to race to get their laps back at this point. The question is, can those lap cars even catch Jacob Bradley at this point, who is just charging up as he's coming up on Brian Brobst at this point? And I need to remind everybody, Brian Brobst is in 11th. So
yeah, he's about to start lapping everybody inside the top 10.
Jacob Bradley is making... Oh, crazy. Brian's in the wall! We have not shown a lot of love to our leader, Jacob Bradley, on camera tonight, but he's just been so far in front, there's been no fight for it.
Yeah, he has been dominant tonight. He has led most of the laps already. He has just been on fire. He came into this race with a vengeance. He came in with a chip on his shoulder from last week. But, yeah, I mean, he's almost hasn't put a wheel wrong this whole race.
Logan Monteith. Oh, Adam Boyles.
Oh, we got Adam coming up the road.
Adam's pitting now.
Yes,
Logan Monteith going around. Steve Loving now going to go ahead and jump up and take that 4th position as he comes around, passing Adam Boyles on pit road at this point. Steve, once again, back in the top 5. I mean, Steve's had quite a run here, no matter his finishing place.
Connor.
You know, he's going to end up having a good time. Connor also, yes, indeed. Might have been an Impact Racing call at this point. Adam Boyles probably told Connor, hey, just come on down. Let's go ahead and get tires. Better play it safe. He's been having some issues with being sliding. Might have felt the car was a little too tough. Go ahead and take those tires. You got 20 laps to go. Why not, right?
Right.
I mean, Jacob Bradley's lapping the field anyway,
right? I mean, this race has gone by relatively quickly, so...
Jacob Bradley is approaching Blake Hoppy at this point. for
Wow,
lapping
what a-
him in the 8th position. The 8 car in 8th. He is rapidly approaching to make a lap of the top 10 field. Looks like he's probably got somewhere around 2 to 3 seconds or so to catch up with him. I mean, we love to see dominance like this, especially from a guy who just absolutely drove it. It's a wonder, though, if Brady Powers hadn't ended up throwing that first block on Logan Monteith, would Logan have been able to catch up to him? Or would we still be in the same position we're in right now? I think it's kind of hard to tell. What do you think?
I mean, that's a good question. That's a question that's never going to get answered because as a driver, if you see yourself pulling forward and catching somebody in front of you, meanwhile you're keeping your tires under you and you know it, like Logan probably did, once you get taken out of that focus, then you kind of just drop anchor for a second. It takes a second to regain it, and sometimes you just don't even regain it at all, and then you get content. So, yeah,
Justin
I mean,
Bally driving real
it's-
slow. He's pulling down
Oh, here
alongside
comes
pit wall,
Jackson.
and he ejects to
Justin
toes
blew
the
the
pit
motor.
lane.
He
Oh,
blew the
no.
motor, he said, over the intercom.
Oh,
no.
no. Boy, oh boy, it is not a fun day
Heartbreak.
for off-the-wall racing. Whoever their team
Wow,
owner
what
is
a
must not be
heartbreak.
having a good time right now.
Well, as the team owner, what do you think right now? What's going on with your boys?
I'm glad Charles was able to come out and make his run as he did. You know, obviously, I don't disagree at all with, you know, he felt like he was just catching too much stuff. He was doing well, trying to stay out of people's way. I mean, he got caught by Anthony Cangelosi off of an accident. He was nowhere in the way of that, and some other stuff. And 8+ minutes of repair. Plus, it sounded like some maybe. Oh, Jonathan Cofield eats the wall. Connor Morse coming around him on the outside. Wow, he had plenty of clearance
he
to
has
do
a
that
lot
the
of
way
damage.
Jonathan ate that wall.
He has
But-
a lot of damage on that right side.
As I was trying to say, I mean, you know, to see that for Charles, it definitely makes sense to me why he'd go ahead and just park it for the night. You know, he's a guy who's going to show up to every race, and he's going to do his best he can. He's not somebody who just quits out. So, I mean, for him to have decided that tonight wasn't his night, I'm going to trust his call on that, his gut feeling. As for Jay has just unfortunately been just behind some stuff that's been happening, and he's also gotten involved in some stuff as well. He looked like he was just having trouble staying out of that wall for a while, and it was causing issues not only for himself but for others. But Dustin, that's the real heartbreak for off the wall right now. Dustin was definitely the best bet to get a top 5 out of this for our team, and now he's back out because he didn't have to use his fast repair, I imagine, at this point. He's been running such a clean race on the top, but if he can't get his lap back and make up a big enough difference, which it's going to be hard to do with 13 to go, I can't imagine that we're going to see off the wall climbing up, maybe even into the top 10 at this point. So yeah, a little bit heartbreaking, but I mean, how's it feel for Backmarkers Racing? I'm looking at some names in here.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. We have a caution.
Caution! Adam Boyles!
Adam Boyles.
Adam Boyles behind Jackson Samsel here. What exactly
Uh,
happened here?
Jackson apologizing. Let's see
Oh!
what happened.
He just got up in behind him. I'm not sure. It's hard to say whether that was all Jackson or whether that was Adam just got way into him. Let's take a look back here at a higher...
Unfortunate.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that roof cam.
Ooh.
See what exactly Adam saw. Again, Jackson just kind of off pace on this race. Oh, Jackson got loose. Jackson got loose, came up track trying to correct, and he just Adam ended up plowing into him. The market brakes took full effect right then and there. Unfortunate. Adam Boyle's still running. It's probably, I guess he feels like he probably doesn't have too much damage. He's able to still go. But this, I mean, let's be honest. This is probably a dream come true for Jonathan Cofield and Logan Monteith right now.
100%, because who's gonna pit and
Oh,
who's not
Jonathan
gonna
Cofield right now and Logan Monteith both pitting.
pit? Woo!
Jacob Bradley
And here
did
comes
as
Steve
well.
Loving. Here comes Peter.
Steve Loving, Peter
Sean.
Stewart, Sean Johnson, Blake Hoppy
Blake.
is coming down. Tyler DeTalent's coming down. Brian Brobst
Everybody.
doesn't seem to be coming down here.
These guys are all gonna get their wave around now.
And it's so interesting to see how lapped the field is, that all these guys are staying out, and we still have the same leaders. Jacob Bradley, is he going to be able to beat outside of pit lane? Jonathan Cofield. Oh, Blake Hoppy. Oh, Jacob Bradley looks like he's going to get out just in time. Blake Hoppy pulling out Jonathan Cofield. No, is Blake Hoppy pulling in? I'm sorry, I thought Blake had already pitted, but looks like as we're coming off, Steve Loving taking third. Brian Brobst perhaps actually made it to third before Steve got out of pit lane. Very interesting stuff. Maybe not. I'm not sure what the positioning is. We'll see. Logan Monteith coming in here at fifth. And Peter Stewart making it off after him. Sean Johnson now climbing out. So is Blake Hoppy. Wow. And
Wow,
once again,
indeed.
it's what we say. I mean, this has to be a prayer answered for those guys in this top 5 who were just begging for a chance to get at Jacob Bradley. But, I mean, maybe those prayers will go unanswered because Jacob just took tires, and I imagine he's probably good on fuel, and he's still in first. So, I mean, at this point, if he's running that well, is he going to be able to outpace them on new tires as well?
It's going to be very interesting, especially with Steve Loving up into third, right behind either Jonathan or Jacob, whatever they choose. He can be a big player in this race. I mean, he's super consistent. He's always there at the end. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Brian Brobst did make it up there, but he also chose to pit as Robert Brobst. Oh, Jay Paxton. Robert Brobst almost got into something there on pit road. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened there, but that did not look pretty. Is there anybody you want to talk to at this last interval before this this thing kicks off for what will probably be the final green flag run?
What do you say we get the rookie in first race, Cofield?
Let's get Cofield in here.
All right, Jonathan, you got us up in the booth?
Yes, sir, I got you.
All right, well, first race, and you're making some big waves here, man. I mean, running second, and you had an opportunity for the lead earlier, so how you feeling for this last green flag run?
I'm feeling pretty good. Bradley, he's been pretty fast all night. Made a little boo-boo. One of those last 3 starts we done, caught the apron, but been trying to pick my way back up to the field. Just glad I could make it back up second here.
Yeah, man, you have been putting on a great race for us, a great show. You had a great save earlier where you were talking about that little boo-boo on the apron in turn 1 and 2. Great save and tapped the wall a little bit, but you're still here fighting, man. Looks like you chose the outside, so what's going to be your strategy going into these final 7 laps or so?
I'm going to let him get the start, hopefully get in behind him, get away from these other guys, and maybe I'll have something for him with about 3 to go.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go back with the team here, focus up, and good luck. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Of all the people for Jacob Bradley,
So
to
it seems
see
like a very
alongside
confident Jonathan.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying is for all the people for Jacob Bradley to see alongside him right now, as this race is about to go green again, seeing a teammate right beside him has got to feel pretty good.
100%.
As we're
And
coming
we're getting
around,
ready to line up.
we're gonna get ready to take a look at this finish line cam as they get ready here.
Green flag drops.
green flag
Great
is
start
dropped.
for the 50.
The 50 just blasting out. Once again, way ahead. Already a commanding take. Jonathan Cofield not exactly far behind, but it's enough to be a difference as we've seen so far. I mean, oh, Logan getting real close behind Steve Loving. They're making some sweet love back there. Can't figure out what's going on. Blake Hoppy looking to try to get around Logan Monteith as well. Unbelievable stuff already. Real competitive. Logan's trying to get side by side with him. Probably feels that Steve might give it up to him.
No, you cannot. Not at this point in the race.
Steve's throwing the block. Logan's going to fall back in line there. He's not going to try to challenge it. Probably feeling a little bit of buyer's remorse on it. Going to just hold in line.
Woo! Oh, and they got a big turn. Tyler DeTalent into the fence after getting turned by the 32 of Sean.
Oh, he's got to break it up on that field. Doesn't look like anybody else got touched. Is that right?
No, man. That is unfortunate. Tyler
That's really
DeTalent get
unfortunate.
taken out by Sean Johnson, but
Oh,
could be another
no, not
blessing.
quite. He was just loose. He was
Oh,
so
no, you
loose, and
overcorrected?
it's the same thing that happened with Jackson Samsel just a little bit ago that we saw with Adam Boyles. It's the exact same scenario. He got so loose, overcorrected up, just came right in front of Sean Johnson. Sean didn't have anywhere to go but to plow into him.
This race could turn into a green-white checkered real quick after having such long green flag runs.
It very much could. I mean, we haven't seen anything change here, but Cofield already taking a look and saying, you know what? Maybe we get a better shot this time. Steve Loving, I imagine, is just probably trying to think, man, if I can get a good enough restart and link up with Jacob Bradley, I might be able to take it to him. But, man, that Underbird car, true to its original, is just fierce.
Yes, it is, man. But what do you do if you're Cofield here? Do you get behind Jacob, your teammate, try and get a good start and stay right behind him? Or do you try to get on the outside, get a good jump, and hang on his quarter panel as well?
I think you probably stay behind him, honestly, because what you're going to do, you know who's going to take that outside line? Logan Monteith. Most likely.
100%.
Steve Loving might as well, but, I mean, if that's not the case, the person you don't want to see up there is Logan Monteith, because if anybody is going to throw one of the hardest, cleanest fights that Jacob Bradley's going to have to deal with on this restart, and get a good restart as well, it's going to be Logan. So, I mean, if I'm in their chat right now, I'm saying, Jonathan, you know, you can, you know, obviously we're going to race each other for the win. It's a big deal. But just go ahead and take that high line. We'll be on the low line here. And let's race each other that way so that nobody else can come in and take this win from Mach 1 at this point.
I'm hearing people talking about fuel now. They're about 2 to 3 laps to the good. So if there is a green-white checkered, somebody that pit that's inside the top 10 is going to have a great day.
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine who didn't take fuel. Who's talking so far?
A lot of people didn't take fuel to try and shorten up their pit stops, but man, that's very interesting actually. So they're going to be choosing next time by. I don't know if I want to bring somebody in just yet. Let them focus up for this green-white checkered, but
yeah, I think we let them kind of chill for this one.
All right, now we got Michael Nash 3 connecting. We got the co-owner, the co-president of Darlington Raceway coming in.
It's so good to see him here. So grateful. I can't wait. I hear the ARCA commissioner will be making a stop by soon enough. So, are these people accepted in the league? How'd they get in here?
I don't think so. I don't remember accepting them into the league.
If you're not in the league, can you watch?
If they're your friends, I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe there's some friends in here that might explain it. We'll have to ask everybody in the post-race drivers meeting if they know these people's names.
That's hilarious. Let's see what's going on here. So, inside that top 10, we have Tyler DeTalent still. He wrecked, but he was right back up there, so he may have not had that bad of a damage after destroying that outside wall.
Absolutely, and looks like we came to the choose, and just as I predicted, that's team strategy at that point. Not only just for, you know, keeping it within Mach 1 racing, but that's probably Jonathan's best chance at a win, because look who took that outside line immediately. Logan Monteith. And that hard charge would not have been fun to be dealing with if you're Jacob Bradley.
No, definitely not, man. Logan is going to come in on a vengeance. So we got 3 cars up inside the top 3 that have not won a race this season. And inside the top 6, we got 5 cars that have not won a race this season. So this could get really interesting real fast.
Yes, indeed. I mean, aside from the prospects of a rookie winning his first race in the league, I mean, we've talked about it. Jacob Bradley was my pick. He's showing why he was my pick. The dude's been strong. You gotta wonder what's in these cars he's driving, because he's just dominant. He's so good. Might have to start calling him Barnett Jr. if he's not careful. But, I mean, Steve Loving has been long overdue for a win as well here. So, I mean, when you're looking at a top 5 like this, I mean, between Blake Hoppy and Peter Stewart, I mean, they're both incredible. But Blake managing to get back to where he is after his incidents.
And we are green.
It looks like he waited it out. And he gets right in front of that 58 car. Steve's going to drop down. He takes that jump.
Oh,
Oh, no! He turned. Oh no! Oh Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! It looks like Cofield went to go
Oh,
pinch the.
so there's a lot of
Oh,
people collected
no.
here. Oh no!
Oh no! That is unfortunate.
I'm unsure what happened. We're gonna have to definitely go take a look here and see what happened here that caused this. We know it started with Steve Loving and Jonathan Cofield, but what exactly was it? Let's take a look here. Steve makes the pass on Logan Monteith on the inside. And as he comes around, we're going to go ahead and get on his roof cam here. Try to take a look.
Wait.
Oh,
When we're done with that, you should go to Connor Morse. You should check out that wreck avoidance by Connor Morse. What do you say we bring him in?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'll keep showing this wreck as it goes, and you go ahead and talk with him.
Hold on, trying to get this all figured out. All right, Connor Morse, you got us? Connor, you got us? No, he does not.
Unfortunate, man. I can't help but feel, like just absolutely gut-wrenched at the result here. As we're actually, I'm heading back to take a look at Connor Morse right now to see that wreck avoidance
Great
we were talking
avoidance.
about. As we head into his roof cam, they come around that corner. It's really hard to tell exactly what happened there, whether it was Jonathan kind of came down or Steve kind of came up, or if it was both. But wow, he manages to avoid Jay Bass and Samuel Stoner doing a kickflip off of Jay Bass's car. We're going to go ahead to blimp view. This was the big one. I really thought we were going to have a race without one. I didn't jinx it. I didn't say a thing, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought so too, but unfortunately, that's just how it falls, right?
As we see the rest of these cars, some of them just really felt like they had nowhere to go. Getting collected. Dave Grachewski just getting tapped just enough to ruin his night. Spinning around, almost catching Samuel Stoner as well. Man, I think a lot of people are probably going to want to talk following this race. Hey, if we're on the yellow right now still, why don't we bring in Tyler to Talon? Is he available?
Sounds good to me. Let's see it.
Let's hear Tyler.
Let's bring in the Clinton Boy. Trying to reach him up here. Further away than I thought. Tyler D, my boy. Got you up in the booth, man. You got us?
It's the big one.
An up and down day, man. I've seen you a lap down with a lot of damage fencing it, and I've seen you get turned twice. I've seen you spin it out. Man, and you're up inside that top 10. How's your day been going?
This has been an insane race, to say the least. I came into this race scared, and now I'm even kind of more scared. I don't even know what's going to happen. I'm just going to putt around the bottom because I'm pretty sure suspension's broken. I'm dragging the front, but by God, I'm going to finish this damn thing, and we're going to get some team points.
I like it, dude. Hey, I mean, you were running up inside that top 10 quite a bit, and you have had a great run. You're almost inside the top 5 right now. Looks like you're a little bit broken, but
Yeah, very broken.
What's the strategy?
There's still a lot of lap down cars, so what I'm banking on is just hopefully finishing before those lap cars pass me, because I think I can get at least 10th or 11th.
All right, man. We'll let you.
I don't know what else to say.
Well, we admire the effort, man, and we're going to put you back with your team here. So good luck, man. Hold on to that car.
Oh, it's always a good idea to bring Tyler to Talon into the booth, man. It's always a good idea.
Oh, we have a spin.
Do we?
It looked like Logan got spun out the line.
Did he? I'm seeing him just fine right now.
If you rewind it, he got spun out, it seems like, and he was yelling at somebody over the mic, but It's all good. We'll figure that out later. Maybe we'll give him an interview. But look at who's on the outside of the leader right now.
And look, just like that, Tyler dropping down, and the green flag, and
Great start.
I don't mean to say anything about these guys behind him. They're all incredible. Blake Hoppy's probably a decent challenger, but I think Jacob Bradley's main challengers are pretty much out of the question right now, and I would not be surprised that he's just running away with this thing at this point. I'm glad to see Logan Monteith back up in the top 10. I mean, he had nothing to do with any of that, and he just got eaten by that accident. So
yeah, just nowhere to go. That's a typical Darlington accident too, just collecting somebody that had nowhere else to go on track because it is so tight. But here we go,
Steve
under
Loving,
the white
Logan Monteith,
flag.
and Jonathan Cofield all in the top 10. I mean, that's fantastic for them to not end up being completely out of it here. As Logan's fighting. Logan making a big pass, going around, trying to get just past Steve Loving. Steve Loving comes in the wall. You can tell Logan is saying, I'm not playing around.
Jacob Bradley's going to cross the line.
Jacob Bradley gets the win. Blake Hoppy second.
What a win.
Peter Stewart third. Adam Boyles fourth. Sean Johnson fifth. Brian Brobst sixth. Logan Monteith passing Steve Loving for position for seventh. Steve Loving coming in eighth. Robert Brobst ninth. And Jonathan Cofield 10th, rounding out your top 10. Wow. What a spectacular finish. What another heartbreaking, gut-wrenching finish. But, man, I mean, Jacob Bradley, huh? This isn't even a fluke conversation again. He had this race from the start. As he rightfully gets his celebrations in here. That man, he was just absolutely blowing past everybody. I mean, what an incredible, incredible finish for him. And huge congratulations to Mach 1 for finally getting that first race, that well-deserved first win. And Jacob Bradley getting redemption for last week. It looked like Dustin Bawley, who spun Jacob Bradley out in that last lap, taking away his win at Watkins Glen, and instead Jay Bass getting that victory, of course, last week. Drove by, pay him some respects, say, hey, congrats, you definitely earned it, man. And he did. Look at him. That Hooters car was flying.
He is ripping that car apart, man. He is so excited and warranted. I mean, he drove a great race. He has had a couple of unfortunate events, but yeah, I mean, great race from him. But let's get Sean up in here, Mr. Moonpie, finishing 5th, his first top 5.
He had a great race as Jacob Bradley is doing backwards down the run.
Hey, Sean, you got us up in the booth?
Yep, got y'all.
Hey, top 5 for you. An incredible race, up and down, like I said. But hey, I called it near the end. You're going to be up inside that top 5, and there you were.
Yeah, that was it's nice to come all the way in the back there. Just a couple of lap cars behind me, all the way back up at the front.
Yeah, I mean, you put on a great show, man, and obviously this is one of your favorite tracks. So, are you happy with your result?
Yeah, I finally get to get a top 5 without having some fuel shenanigans or something.
And was there any fuel shenanigans? I heard a lot of people talking about 2 or 3 laps of fuel left at the last green-white checkered.
If it had ran green, most of us were between half a lap to 2 laps to the good, with a couple people having to pit just to make it to the end.
Oh, that is pretty interesting. And I mean, it looks like your crew chief, you finally got the right one. He finally made the right call and put you up inside that top 5, man. First top 5.
Yeah, feels good.
You sound a little bit worn out. Long race?
Yeah, it's definitely a long race. Physically and mentally.
Oh, I am sure, man. Well, I'll let you go celebrate. Go back with your teams. So, good job, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Moonpie himself. Anybody else you want to get up in here before we start doing podiums?
I think we need to talk to Connor Morse, see if he's available right now. He might be talking at this point, but let's see if he's there.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll bring him in right now. Connor, you got us? Mr. Connor, you got us? Nope. Well, we'll put him
Trying
back.
So desperately, trying so desperately to give him his
We
time to
tried.
shine. Talk to him. Man,
Well-
I mean, I think the next people we should probably be talking to, I'd say we should talk to Jonathan Cofield, Steve Loving, and Logan Monteith in that order.
I'm all right with that. Let's do Cofield first since he's right here. All right, Jonathan. You got a hold of us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, unfortunate events. You were up there the whole night, and looks like there was just a little bit of an incident between you and Steve collecting Logan as well. What happened in your eyes?
Nah, I thought I gave him plenty of room. Didn't get as good as a restart as I wanted. So I thought I'd give him enough room on the bottom. I guess he just ran in there a little too deep. I don't know.
All right. Well, going into the next week though, how you feeling? Confident?
Yeah. Series seems like it's got some pretty good drivers in it. So yeah, I can't wait to. It's my first one with these guys, so can't wait to run many more.
Yes, sir. I mean, you got a top 10 in your debut, and you were inside the top 3 most of the night, man. So very impressive debut, and we look forward to seeing you up in here with the win, with the checkered flag.
I appreciate it, man.
All right. So it looks like Steve is still alive right now. Let's bring in Logan Monteith. I know Logan gets a little hot, so be prepared for some cursing.
Be a little bit
Protect your ears,
colorful here.
fellas.
Let's hear what we gotta say.
All right, Logan. Up inside the top 5 all night, having a great run until the end there with that green-white checkered. Can you tell us what happened in your eyes?
I just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but otherwise confident with your run. I mean, you were up there all night.
I just would rather move on from this race. I mean, I was at that point where, I was going to try something, and then I was like, I'll be happy just settling for a 4th place finish. And sure enough, 2nd and 3rd wipe each other out right in front of me, and I have nowhere to go.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate, man, but you look good, and your throwback looked nice as well. So we look forward to seeing you back in here for more positive reasons, and I'm sure we're going to see you back in here for another win, man. I mean, you're the talk of the town usually, so unfortunate run, but otherwise solid overall season so far.
Yeah.
And obviously disappointed Logan Monteith, man. You can hear the heartbreak through the mic.
I think he was just here so he didn't get fined.
For sure, man. Well, I see Steve's trying to show Cofield and Mach 1 Racing right now. He's live showing them the incident, so I'll let those two play it out. But let's get Peter Stewart up in here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mr. Peter D. Stewart, first podium of the season, man. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Everything kind of aligned right.
Man, that was an awesome run at the end. You, Jackson, Sean were battling all night. It seemed like you were inside, outside the top 10. I mean, a lot of comers and goers. I feel like I'm saying that for everybody. But, yeah, how was it going towards the end of the race?
It was good. Like, before that last caution, I felt like I was the quickest on track, if not close to it, like, not counting the fresh tire guys. And, like, I was seriously considering just staying out and trying to make it. And when the caution came out, everything just kind of aligned. And that nice crash in front of me kind of helped.
Well, I'm sure, man. But you did some good avoidance right there and put yourself up inside the podium. And, I mean, that's your first podium this season, man. So great job.
Thank you. Hopefully it's first of many, but we'll see.
Hey, I'm cheering for you, man. I like watching that spam car go around, and I like watching the smiley face Captain Crunch car go around, too. So we like having you in here, and hopefully we can get you up in here a little bit more. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, Adam for taking me onto his team. I appreciate being on Impact Racing. We had a good 3-4 finish today. Connor for behaving himself. Yeah, I mean that's it. Like, I just enjoy being part of the Backmarkers League, and hopefully it stays this fun for the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, we all appreciate you being here and putting on a good show, man. So we'll let you go back to your team here. Is there any specific chat you want me to drop you off in?
No, I'm good.
All right, sounds good, man. Well, thank you again, and good job tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, let's get Mr. Blake Hoppy up in here. All right, Blake, you got us up in the booth?
Yeah, you got me.
I got you. So, finished second. You were up there all night, up inside the top 5. It seemed like you had an incident where it looked like you spun out on the front straightaway, drove back from there, and ended up in the second position, man. Great job.
Yeah, overall, a good day, I think.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I feel like Evil Empire should be pretty proud of you. You came in there with a chip on your shoulder, it seemed like, with what you were talking to me with, and came out with a good result. Is there anything that you
Yeah.
could have done differently to take that win?
No, I don't think Jacob was going to lose that race. He was pretty dominant. I think we both ran the fastest lap of the race at that last lap. So I was trying.
Well, you were definitely ripping, man, but otherwise, good job. Very proud of you, and I feel like we're going to see you up in here a little bit more. So, once again, man, good job. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, thank you, man. Just want to thank Logan for having me. This league's fun, and I'm enjoying this. Want to move on to next week.
All right, man. Well, I will launch you back to your chat, and then what do you? Don't worry about it.
Nothing happened, man. No one knows.
Ref didn't see it. Let's get to the leader here.
A question before. Do we want to pull in Jacob by himself first, or do we talk to Brady just ahead of this?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Let's pull in Brady real quick. All right, Mr. Brady Power, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're good.
All right, well, you finished in 11th. You started 23rd, led a couple laps. Overall, I'd say a pretty solid day. What's your opinion on it?
Definitely probably would have been the smarter move to come in there, pit when everybody else pitted. I forget what lap it was, but to come in and take our second set. I thought I could hold them off, and I thought we were going to have just like a quick caution, but I think I fell all the way back to 17th, and that kind of destroyed my race. But at the end there, all those cautions kind of helped me get back to 11th, so.
Yeah, I mean, that was a long race, too, so you had some ample time to get your way back through the field, especially on this tight racetrack, and it was impressive to watch you all night, man, so good job.
Thank you.
So we got one question, though, before you go. So you stayed out on old tires, and Jacob was on newer tires, and you got out to a good jump, but he got around you relatively quickly, and it looked like, actually, no, sorry, forget that. How about the whole lap car thing, when you let Jacob around you, and you were a lap down? But it looked like you held up Logan a little bit. Was that on purpose?
Definitely not on purpose. Like, second week in a row that I've accidentally done this, but I never mean to hold up anybody like that. I mean, of course, I want to get my teammate to the win, but I'm never gonna hold up anybody just to push them up there. But I think what happened was Jacob came on my inside, and I let him have it, and then I kind of try to do a little move on him just to stay with him, and I think Logan was just on my outside. And I mean, I ran into a couple of situations where Logan was on my outside and there's a lap car in front of us. That happened 2 or 3 times tonight, so I guess it's just kind of unlucky by both of us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a tough track to pass on, so we all know that, and lap traffic always plays a key here. But otherwise, man, good job. Solid run. You were up there all night. Probably pretty confident, inspiring.
Yeah, I'm proud how I did. I usually struggle a little bit at Darlington with just passing and stuff like that, but I was pretty shocked that I held on to those tires that I think I ran close to 70, 80 laps on those tires. So
That's impressive.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. I think I only had like 70%. So.
All right, man. Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. I was just gonna say, well, good run tonight. Is there anybody you do want to thank before we let you go and interview your teammate?
Always got to thank my dad for watching. I know he's watching upstairs right now, so thanks to him. Pretty sure my mom was watching too, so thanks to her. But other than that, that's it.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go back right here. And what do you say we get the winner in here?
I think it's time, man. It's way over time.
Yes, it is. Well, Jacob Bradley getting his first win of the season in dominating fashion, especially after the heartbreak last week. What's going through your mind, man?
Finally was able to put one of these things together. It was a dominant race all night. I think I led 137 laps. It was definitely a fun one for me.
Yeah, man, you put on a clinic tonight. What were you doing better than the other people?
It was mainly just tire saving. People could run with me for the first 15 laps, but within the next five laps, they'd just burn up their right front and get too hot, and then they would just start wearing it out, and I'd leave the field.
Well, man, very, very impressive run tonight. You feeling happy? What are you feeling? Relief?
Yeah, a little bit of relief after Atlanta went the way it did and Watkins Glen happened. I should have had some earlier this season, but finally was able to put one of these things together.
Yes, sir. Well, we're all happy for you. And now that you got the win out of the way, how you feeling going into the next week?
I feel pretty good about next week now. I finally got off my back, so hopefully we can put some more together and keep her going. I know my new teammate, the 58, Jonathan, he's pretty good at Iowa, so hopefully we can have another battle like we did today. I know it didn't end well for him, but hopefully we can put one together again.
Yes, sir, man. Well, once again, good job. And also, we interviewed you mid-race, and you did not lag out. So I think we broke that curse as well.
We broke the curse of Atlanta.
I like
Thank
it, man.
goodness.
Well, before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody on the team, Mach 1 Racing. They all put in some effort today, and they all were up front and put on a good show. I want to thank my parents for watching the broadcast. I always appreciate that.
Yes, sir, man. Well, we'll let you go back and celebrate with your team. Thank you for joining us, and great job tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Man, a great performance from him. So exciting to
Absolutely.
see him get his first win out of the way, and that's 5 races, 5 winners.
And you know what? Again, I should have been a betting man tonight. I'm telling you, I saw him take that pole, and I said, "This is it. This is his night tonight. He's gonna take it." I made that prediction early this morning. I said, "You know what? This is a Mach 1 Racing night," and here we are, Mach 1 Racing showing up, and we have a rookie season winner again, Jacob Bradley. That puts 3 rookie season winners and 2 veteran winners so far, but 5 completely different winners, all the same across the entirety of these points paying races since Daytona all the way up to now. I mean, I can only hope personally it's going to continue to be like this, because wow, is it so much fun to be able to think, man, what's coming next?
Right? I mean, the possibilities are endless. We had like 3 or 4 guys up inside the top 5 who have not won a race yet. So going forward, this championship's still open. I mean, you got people like Logan having some bad luck, who was the championship leader, and we're gonna have to go take a look at those points in a minute. But everything's so tight still, and we're 6 races in, almost halfway done with this season.
Yes, indeed. If you would, please go ahead and get that point sheet pulled up, and we'll read it off, as I'm going to go ahead and head back to the gridding points so we can run through these guys' cars and get an opportunity to show them all off to everybody. Make sure it gets seen.
All right. Well, this replay is saving just because it was a long race, almost 2 hours long.
Yes, indeed.
So give it a second, but it'll come back to us. All right. Sweet. So with the fastest lap of the race, let's look at that first. Most laps led, obviously, Jacob Bradley, 137 out of 153 completed. Best lap was Jacob Bradley with a 30.016, but tying him is also Blake Hoppy with a 30.016. So those are the only 2 guys with a 30.0, it looks like.
Wow.
So they were just fast tonight.
Yeah.
But let's go look at the points. So it looks like Logan Monteith is still in the lead by 10 points over Blake Hoppy. Jacob Bradley is going to be moved up to 4th in points, tied with Dustin Bawley. Only 12 points out of the lead. And obviously, the point differential between each race is pretty tight. But if he keeps this up, he's going to be up in the lead in no time.
Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind.
In 5th place is going to be Brady Powers with 157 points, only 1 point behind after having a pretty solid season so far. Steve Loving up into 6th, tied also with Brady Powers. Then we got Adam Boyles with 156 points, just 1 point behind those 2 in front of him. Then we have Robert Brobst and Sean Johnson up in 9th. And lastly, we've tied for 10th. We have Peter Stewart and Jackson Samsel up into 11th with Connor Morse in 12th.
Wow, so very, very tight race. How are we looking on the team front? Did we manage to break that tie at this point?
That is going to be a question that we're gonna have to look up right now. I'm pulling up the graphics page right now. Come on, let me see the teams. But while I'm doing that, what's your opinion of the race? I mean, how do you think it went?
Well, I mean, there's definitely some, again, heartbreak as we consistently kind of see, occasionally. I guess that's just a fallout of racing at times, but I mean, at the same time, pure dominance as well. I mean, Jacob Bradley bat out of hell this entire race. It felt like. I mean, it there was only one point I felt like he might not make it back up to that front spot, and he ended up once again coming in proven wrong. I mean, it's very interesting because that final caution, that final accident caused such a shakeup in this top five, that this top five is a group of people I wasn't really quite expecting to see with the way this race was playing out. I mean, perhaps Adam Boyles, but I mean, Blake Hoppy, while he was playing around in that top five, he was falling out of it a little bit towards the end there. Peter Stewart as well and Sean Johnson all just kind of working their way up steadily to get to where they ended up finishing. So I mean, the shakeup of it is very interesting. It's going to be crazy to see what that does to points. It'll be interesting to see if any of these guys can keep that momentum heading into this next race next week. Because I mean, of course, it's going to be. I mean, every track's different, especially Darlington's shape and everything. But this next race is going to be different as well, as we're heading into Iowa, which of course is short track territory. So I mean, it's gonna be and we're gonna be having a shortened field for our short tracks at this point. They're gonna have to qualify in, but it's gonna be interesting to see who actually makes into that qualifying and actually gets to run the race. And it's gonna be very interesting as well to see who's gonna end up being super dominant there. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talking big smack already about how they're gonna do. Do you have any way too early predictions about somebody doing well?
Yeah, I got Logan Monteith, man. This is his
Yeah.
home track. He's always good at Iowa. And speaking of that, I have the team points getting updated right now. So,
Awesome.
Sean, I can see him working right now. I'm going to leave him a message saying something not very nice.
Yeah, I believe he just messaged me saying something. I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, he's updating the points right now, so give him a second. I left him a nice little message.
Mach 1 Racing's points aren't correct for this race.
Yeah, he's doing that right now. Anyways, VTR, though, it looks like that they have the lead with a 524-point season so far. Off the Wall Racing has 459. I don't think this is right, so I'm gonna give him another minute or so.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure we might have fallen out of fourth at Off the Wall Racing with the night we had. There's definitely going to be some debriefing happening in our chat later. See exactly where everything happened, and it was just a bad night for our team, especially after the come off we had for last week. But I mean, that's just bound to happen.
Yeah, definitely, and unfortunately, but it is what it is, and that's racing, man. I mean, there's no throwouts with team points, so hopefully another team has a bad run, and it looks like he's updating everything. I'm waiting for him to go a little quicker, but I mean, you can't rush perfection.
Well, as
after
we're doing
top
that,
five, he's probably already hammering like 4 or 5 beers.
Probably. As we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at all these cars as we had, of course, Jacob Bradley, who's sitting on the pole. We're looking back at a replay of the starting lineup grid to show off all these throwback cars. Jacob Bradley and the Alan Kwicki Underbird Hooters car. And we had Blake Hoppy in that Ray Bestis car as well, followed up by Peter Stewart running that Spam throwback. And then we also had, well, for some reason, Steve Loving is in this lineup, but it is not showing him correctly. Let's try that again. Yep, there's Blake Hoppy. And then we had Dustin Bawley, who was running the Hardy's car. for this race. And then Jonathan Cofield running that Mark Martin Winn-Dixie throwback for himself. And then Logan Monteith with the Wrangler throwback as well. All beautiful cars so far, for sure. It was a treat being able to broadcast this and get to see all these amazing cars running out there, especially considering almost all of them were made by the drivers or by somebody within this group, whether it had been myself or Logan Monteith, M99 GRAFX, or Steve Loving, who everybody was kind of tasked down making people's cars. But let's see, also Jonathan Cofield, not Jonathan Cofield, sorry, Samuel Stoner, rather, with that Cartoon Network throwback. Then we head over to Adam Boyles, who had that Spree car. And we come from Adam Boyles in the Adam Petty throwback there to Steve Loving with the Rusty Wallace Miller Genuine Draft. And we take a look a little further back there at Carter Dyson, moving down this line with the Darrell Waltrip throwback. And then right beside him, the Ricky Craven Busch Series DuPont car, Mr. Moonpie, Sean Johnson, with a beautiful scheme there himself. And we head back, we see the Aquafresh car driven by Robert Brobst. And right beside him, again, one of the most fun, very, very obscure references of a throwback with Michael Gudger. He is the resident Brian Vickers of the league, so what better way to do it? This was a 90s throwback. Just so happens that at the same age that Michael Gudger is now, about 15, 16, Brian Vickers was running the USAR Hooters Pro Cup in 1999, and he drove a car that looked like this. So very, very fun way to just meet the cutoff on the timing there, and also pay homage to his nickname. And then we follow up on Peter Stewart with that Spam car. Love the colors on that one. The very close second place, off by 1 point. I mean, that Mac Tonight car that Tyler DeTalent was driving, it's something I personally voted for. I've loved it since it was put up by Logan Monteith. It is one of the nicest looking things out there, and I hope Tyler whips it out a couple more times in just this race, because it is a beauty.
I do too, man. That is a gorgeous car.
Absolutely. Then we head back to Clifton Simmons, who last minute ended up throwing up together the Skull Bandit. Very nice him there. Jackson Samsel driving the absolutely correct version of the car that I put together for him, the Heinz 57 of Jimmy Spencer. Definitely didn't forget to switch it out for the corrected version of it. No, not at all. 523, Nick Seraph. Running, I believe that's a Dale Earnhardt tribute as well. We had, I think, 3 Dale Earnhardt tributes across this, but they were all different, which is very interesting and very fun. That's, you know, how that ended up shaking out. Jay Bass changing up disciplines, driving the McLaren for the Golf McLaren that was running the 1997 Le Mans race. And just behind them, we have, of course, audio feedback for some reason. There we go. Just behind them, we have Anthony Cangelosi in the 69 Rainbow Warriors Ghost car. And then we take a look just beside him, Charles Broderick in the Larry Pearson Chattanooga Chew throwback. And following up behind then, Damian Marquez, El Intimidator, the Dale Earnhardt throwback to the black and white. I can't claim authorship on that. That's what Nathan Gentry named the car.
That is hilarious.
And then we head over to Brian Brobst running that Richard Petty STP for Brian here. Let's just find where he is on this list. Yes, and then just behind them, Brady Powers. Again, another person who went outside of the racing discipline of stock cars. And Brady, let's see here, running that Nissan GTP ZX Turbo car. The only Nissan on the field, I think, ever this entire season, I'd imagine. So really unique opportunity there. And then Michael Boyles right beside him with that the Kyle Petty Hot Wheels throwback car there. So we had 2 Petty cars, and they were both the Boyles boys. So that's really fun. Followed up there, it looks like Ryan Huff and a Mountain Dew throwback. It's a very fun looking car when you get to take a look at it all around the entire side of it. Tanner Praters, I'm not entirely sure. I was pretty sure that this was just the regular car he was going to be running, but this may have ended up being the throwback, and I misunderstood Nathan Gentry when he was talking to me about his schemes that were being put together. But I'm sure they'll correct me and judge me later for being wrong. Connor Morse driving a Ken Schrader Budweiser tribute car. The winner of the internal contest, of course, by only 1 point. Again, it was very close between those two. Dade Grajewski here, the resident Mark Martin of this entire league, running that Valvoline Sin Power car. And then, of course, following that up, last but not least at all, Nathan Gentry running the Alka-Seltzer car. And that was our entire lineup. Very, very beautiful lineup. Very beautiful cars that we had out here. Very appreciative of everybody putting in the effort to come up with something so unique and really taking this assignment to heart and saying, yeah, I want to make something cool to run tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, almost every single car running a good throwback, and like there's not really many bad ones out there. But I do have the team points updated real quick, and I'm going to run through that before my throat fully closes up and I can't speak anymore. So first, we got Evil Empire Motorsports with 536 points total now. Second off, we got VTR with 524. So Evil Empire is going to break that tiebreaker and pull away by about 12 points. After that, we have Impact Racing with 520, creeping up on second right now. After that, we got Mach 1 Racing making a big jump after adding that third driver to 460 points, running in fourth right now, less than 100 off the lead. And after that, we have Off the Wall Racing and a BMR tied right now with 459.
Doesn't that
Of
figure?
course, our teams are tied. Yep. After that, we got DFR with 331, and then no shows tonight with Ram Motorsports. I mean, 204 points. So still relatively close between a lot of people, within 100 points with everybody except DFR and Racers Anonymous.
Absolutely, and as we touched on, with the addition of that third driver, of course, we only take the top 3 performers of every team to put together team points. With that addition of that third driver to Mach 1 Racing and the incredible runs that they've continued to have, and especially the way that Jonathan Cofield showed what he was capable of tonight, I mean, do you think it's possible we're going to see them crack that top 3 within a race or two?
I could totally see that, man. I mean, they put on a clinic tonight, and if Brady is up to game, and so is Cofield at Iowa, same with Jacob Bradley, I could see him going 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely. Well, once again, I mean, there's a lot that happened here tonight. So, I mean, we're definitely going to get ready to wrap it up here. Of course, once again, thanks to everybody in the league for showing up as always. Thanks to everybody for putting in the effort and making a cool throwback to run tonight, or having somebody, help you out putting one together. It made tonight a lot of fun to call, to see all those cars running. And of course, this definitely feels like it's going to be a crown jewel race pretty regularly. Just how incredible it felt, the entire time there. Especially the length of the race, everything alongside it. I'm really excited to see Darlington pop back up on the next season and see this thing get run again.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. I mean, this track is just so fun to watch, battling cars and battling the track itself. So hopefully we get to see it again, and hopefully soon with both ARCA and Truck Series. So yeah, it's going to be incredible.
Absolutely. Well, once again, we can't do this without our broadcast partners and our sponsors. And tonight's sponsor, of course, on the Throwback 133 was presented by Homesmart Evergreen Realty. Are you in California or looking to move there potentially? The current home buying market can be difficult to navigate. It doesn't have to be with Homesmart Evergreen Realty. Our friend and agent Sean will help you to find a home to fit any and all of your needs in beautiful Southern California. If you want to schedule an appointment or just talk with him, you can reach out via the information that we have linked below in the description, or you can visit www.homesmart.com. That is, again, www.homesmart.com, and put your location and take a look for him there. Once again, huge thank you for the sponsorship on this race. Another big thank you to our series sponsor, M99 GRAFX. This ARCA series would not be able to be possible without Logan's support in that and sponsoring this series. So once again, huge thank you to M99 GRAFX. They've clearly put in a lot of effort into the wraps, as you've seen many of Logan's works here tonight. And of course, our broadcast partner, Extreme Sim TV on YouTube. If you haven't already, why haven't you? Subscribe. Duh, that's how you're going to end up knowing when we're doing more of these. Also, drop a like on these streams so that, you know, it can help us get boosted in the algorithm and, you know, help continue to push us up and get some more eyes on these guys who definitely deserve it with the way they put on amazing shows for everybody. And of course, you know, you got to come back to find us every week on Thursday night here for ARCA at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be at Iowa next week. That is the 19th of January for the M99 GRAFX 150 at Iowa Speedway. You're not going to want to miss it. That one's going to be a lot of fun as well. So make sure you guys show back up here. Is there anything you want to close out with, Tyler?
For anybody that's still watching, I hope you guys enjoyed the race, and if there's any drivers watching, I hope you guys had a great race. I mean, long race that was, but it was worth it in the end. Great racing all around, and shout out to Connor Morris only having a 2x by the end of the race. So good job
Very
on him,
impressive.
man. So thank you to everybody tuning in, and we hope to see you guys next week because this championship is still up in the air.
Absolutely. But once again, this was your broadcaster, Rain Braun, alongside broadcast colleague Tyler Barnett. And we wish you guys a great night, and we can't wait to see you next week. Bye-bye.